Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, everybody. Welcome to our sunset drive here at Djuma Private Game Reserve in the world-renowned Sabi Sand, South Africa. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Cedric Dold, and behind the camera this afternoon we have got Mpho. So welcome, and thanks for joining us on this beautiful afternoon. Of course, it is a little bit overcast, as you can see, quite a bit of clouds around at the moment. We did have a little bit of spot rain during the daytime. So yes, it is a little bit cool. It's not the warmest, and quite a breeze that's coming through as well. But as everybody knows, we are live, we are interactive. So please, if anybody's got any great comments or questions or any suggestions, please go onto our social media platform, Twitter, #WildEarth, or join us on our website at wildearth.tv. Go onto our channel page and make sure that you do register with us. And of course, anybody under the age of 18, please pop us an email at kidsquestions@wildearth.tv. Please send those comments, questions, or any suggestions through for us this afternoon on our sunset safari, so we can at least give you some answers, and hopefully you can send some nice comments, and we can interact and see what we can find here in the bush. So of course, I'm down here at Zoe's Philemon Cutline Junction. I'm trying to follow up and want to see if Shudulu, of course, Kelly and Craig found this morning. I want to see if Shudulu's around here, see if we're lucky enough to pick up on that female leopard. I was hoping, but I'm sure she might have gone west, because I know they got cubbies in the western side there towards Arethusa. But hopefully everybody enjoyed Penguin Beach as well today. Quite interesting, a couple of things. I heard it's very difficult to clean off cormorant droppings. That is very interesting. I never knew that. Well, and then again, a cormorant never pooped on me, so I'm not too sure if it was easy or not, but very, very interesting. And I see our Jax quite likes the smell of guano. Well, Jax, I think that is quite a unique smell. But then again, you must understand, it's like me. I think elephant in musk. I love that elephant in musk smell, and I also even love leopard scent marking smell as well. So yeah, I guess we all got our little favorites of the natural smells around here, which always kind of reminds us about certain times and special sightings. Well, as you know, this afternoon we do have Kelly on Dan Cam, and of course we got JP there in Pridelands, and of course we got myself and Mpho. We are sitting on Rusty. Unfortunately, Wendy is still taking it easy in the garage, a little bit on holiday that side. So yes, thanks for joining us on Wild Earth, and let's see what we can find for this afternoon. And as I said, please keep us busy, keep us entertained. We'll keep you entertained. And I'm hoping that the weather just stays like this and it doesn't rain. But it looks like the clouds are a little bit high, so I don't think it's really going to rain anytime soon. Touch wood. Hopefully it's not a commentator's curse that I just made out there, but let's see. Right, let's do it. So I'm going to go up Mukwa. I'm going to head up Mukwa. I want to see on Mukwa, see from Lucky that side. So while I'm going to go up Mukwa, let's go to Kelly on Damcam. She wants to say hello to everybody out there. Bada bang, bada boom.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks very much, Cedric. Wendy is indeed still resting in the garage, and I am indeed on Damcam this afternoon. There was just an impala here that is left, and I wanted to give you a bit more information about that beautiful Shudulu female this morning. I was not very forthcoming. I was multitasking heavily this morning. So Shudulu she is a big female. Her parents were the Ingrid Dam female and the Anderson male. She's going to be 8 years old in September. And she was born on Ottawa. And she has got quite a wide-ranging territory from Simbambili, Arethusa, Shirley's in the west. She goes as far as Little Gary and Hoffman's in the south. And she has been seen as far as Treehouse Dam. So she has got a huge territory, which she was vigorously marking this morning. But yeah, I've done some reading around this female, and you know, I've seen lots of female leopards or leopardesses, but she is probably one of the biggest females in the Sabi Sand. She is an absolute beast. And like I said this morning, when Craig spotted her, I first saw her from the side, I definitely thought it was a male we were seeing, but it was just a beautiful big girl. So thank you for your feedback and giving us a bit more information on that gorgeous girl that we saw this morning. I'm still trying to work out what caterpillar I saw this morning. Still working on it. Nothing to report back as yet, but I will keep trying. And in the meantime, I'm going to be with you for the afternoon on Dam Cam. I did work out this morning that we are not going to actually be able to see that parrot's hole front on, but we should be able to see a little parroty head sticking out if they are present. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on our parrot's nest site, which is just in this trunk here, just above the V here. So that is our parrot's hole. I told Craig yesterday, I said, oh, I couldn't get that lilac-breasted roller in focus. He said, did you try the manual focus? I said, oh, is there a manual focus? So maybe I'll make you nauseous this afternoon trying manual focus on this Dam Cam. And yeah, I'm going to sit here, we're going to see what happens. It is quite breezy out there. It's great, this microphone though. Picks up all sorts of things. Cecile, the weather is indeed looking promising. We did have a bit of rain during the day today, but there are... the power of being able to tilt things to the sky on my own. There's little bits of blue up there. And it is looking much clearer than it was yesterday. So fingers crossed, Cecile. We are hopeful. I can hear these parrots, but I can't see them. This drives me mad on Dam Cam. I can hear stuff, but I can't work out where it's coming from. I can hear the wind blowing a gale, but this microphone is very sensitive. I'm going to spend the afternoon having a good scan around here. I can hear oxpeckers as well. So I'm keeping a close eye out. Oh, there's something moving there. What is that? There's a little dove. Oh look, there's impalas. I didn't even know they were there. That's where those oxpeckers are then. Looks like they're all coming in for a drink. Lovely. And that big male over to the left there. It wouldn't surprise me if these impalas stay around this open area this afternoon. You can see they're all very alert. One of this year's babies, one of this year's young males, they grow up so quickly. You can see his horns are starting to come through now.
Sorry, but welcome back. Oh, it's a battalier that's just now decided to... he's gone. He's gone. I think he went straight further that way. Sorry about that. It was a beautiful bird of prey, a battalier. He was hanging around, but then he decided to definitely not hightailing it, because a battalier doesn't have a tail. So just highing it. Anyway, so he's gone off that side. Yes, definitely. I know Shudulu. I know the big male, and Mr. Anderson. I remember Mr. Anderson and I used to work at Arathusa when he came into that area. He is absolutely a beast. He was a beast. I remember sometimes my tracker used to tell me, he's like, Cedric, I'm like, yes, he's got, I've got female lion tracks, or a lion track on the ground. I'm like, oh, female lion. And I was like, just one. He's like, yeah, just one female lion going that side. Look at it, proper like a nice size track. Okay, go down the road, very fresh. Go down the road, maybe 100, 200 meters down the road. Boom, there's Mr. Anderson, the Anderson male leopard. And looked at it, and we followed him, and my tracker looked at his tracks like, he said, those tracks are, Anderson's tracks is almost the same size as a female lion's tracks. And I looked at it, I was like, yeah. So he was quite a beast. So sometimes you would think you'd be following a lion, and you'll actually, a lion, and you're actually following a leopard track and all that. So it's amazing how big his tracks were, how big he was as a leopard as it is. So I can understand why Shudulu is such a large female. Definitely good large genes. And I also know the Ingrid Dam female, and I used to be in the western sector. I used to go there next to Ottawa boundary, and on the western boundary of Ottawa, and the Ingrid Dam female used to now and again pop out that side. I think I only saw her like twice, but she's also a nice biggish female. So she's got really good genes, really good genes. Or not just like good genes, not saying that the leopard snores not good, rather say big genes. She's got a big boned, big body structure genes, and that's definitely, and I mean Shudulu is definitely one of the largest females I've seen around here. Also back in the days, I remember there was another female as well, very big female this side. I remember in Djuma. Djuma used to be a big female leopard that was just south of us, yeah? She was actually quite a I'm going to say, from a gene pool that was large cats, large leopards, a male and a female. I remember I think it was Mafufinian was actually maybe her father, and Mafufinian used to be a beautiful leopard. I mean, a male leopard that used to hang around this side. Pretty much Tandi's father. Well, I'm going to head a little bit east. Well, it is still quite a cool day, and it's been quite cool for most of the day. I'm going to head towards maybe those hyena dens and see what's happening that side, because I can think maybe it could be a good thing while it's still nice and cool like this. Maybe they are around, and they might be playing again around. And yesterday, Charlotte, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Do I know where Tlalamba and the Cubs? No, I'm going to go ahead. I am going to head east from Hyena Den. I'm definitely going to go Treehouse Dam, Twin Dams, head east. I'm going to go search around those areas where she tends to kind of mostly like hang around, maybe in the Yada South, Chittakut line, that side. Just going to go and climb that area, but for this afternoon, I haven't seen, no one's seen Tlalamba and the Cubs for a while since I got into Torchwood. So let's hope we can see if we can find them. So yeah, I was going to say something now, I forgot. Oh yes, yesterday afternoon when I went to the hyena den and I had those, ribbons, 2 cubs and Heart's little cub running up and down under my vehicle and everything. Remember, and I said, I thought there was I thought there was something that was pulled out from underneath my tire or underneath the vehicle. And I thought I heard something, and then apparently when Kelly got back this morning from drive, she said, yeah, but the fuel gauge is not working. She thought there's no fuel in there, or there's something wrong with the fuel gauge. And the first thing I thought is like, those little cubs definitely did a little bit of hot wiring at the bottom of Rusty last night. No, look, I'm definitely going to, and I made sure I put those wires now nicely away so those little ones cannot get to them again. Little maintenance hyena cubs. Hyena panel beaters. Yeah, no. Gotta watch out for them. They're always very inquisitive. That's the thing. They always want to bite on things that they're not too, like, kind of, more kind of inquisitive about, like just bite and pull. And they've got such sharp teeth. And it doesn't take much for it to cut through one of those little thin wires that runs through our dials and all that. Not saying that most of Rusty's dials do work, but well, whatever does work, we still need them. So, yeah. Daisy, good afternoon. Do you think the animals get familiar with the sound of Rusty? Well, Rusty in particular, wow, I'm sure they do know it's Rusty. I'm sure Rusty's got a typical clonk, 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 clonk way of coming down. It's, I think Rusty's got its own little, how can I say, melody to it. A little bit of a loose this and a bit of a loose that and a bit of loose this. So everything together makes a nice Rusty melody. Nah, I don't think so. I don't think they're like, look, I don't think they can really distinguish between Rusty and Wendy and all that. So I think that's a vehicle is a vehicle, that's it. So I don't think they can know who it is. Well, I never know. Maybe every time I do get there and those cubs are out, funny enough, they're always running towards the vehicle. So maybe that's like, Rusty, it's here. Let's say hello. Let's pull his wires out. I think Paul won't be too happy if that happens and he gets left behind in the bush, eh, Paul?
Animals do indeed get familiar with the sounds of vehicles and voices, and yeah, definitely our Rusty has a couple of squeaks. You can see this breeze blowing these clouds across, but it's definitely looking slightly less ominous than it was yesterday. I just heard some Franklins and I've had a look around and I can't even see where that sound was coming from. See that wind is whipping up the ripples here at the dam. I'm going to keep a close eye here at Dam Cam this afternoon.
Welcome back, everybody. It looks like we've got in team again. Let's double check here. One of the hyenas here. At the hyena den, of course, this is where Corky and Intima is keeping their cubs. And we've got Intima here. I think it's Intima, don't tell. No, it's Ndembele. Oh, I've got Ndembele here. Hello, my girl. Ndembele. If I'm saying it right. I don't want to double check here, but it is definitely Ndembele. A couple of scars on her bum, you can see on her rump there, because she hasn't got cubs. I just want to double check on something. On the belly, yeah. So she's one of the younger ones around here at the moment. As you can see, but she's got some serious marking on her face as well. I don't see this. So this is we are at the den site, of course. As I said, Corky and Intima. I don't see Corky or Intima around at the moment. So I wonder if she's. I mean, it's just really. Take a look here. Because she's not as large as the older ones, as Corky and as Ribbon. So I haven't been to Ribbon's and Hart's den site yet. I think they're a little bit further, of course, a little bit further down the road from where we are now. I'm just got in the middle of this side. Definitely I like it when it's on a cool day like this, because I'm always very, very lucky getting the hyenas around, like at the den sites at the moment, which is very awesome. It really helps. And because over the last week, every time we have come around to these den sites, it's been really quiet and nobody has been home. I don't know if anybody just can maybe, if I might be wrong, but I'm sure it's in the bed of this. Baby hyena, good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us. Yes, she is very, very nice. Look, I think she was born in, I think it was 2018. So she's probably almost like 4 years, coming on to 4 years old. I think her mother, I don't think her mother's around anymore. I think her mother was Pretty. Her mother's name was Pretty. I don't think she's around. Well, I haven't seen her. I don't know if anybody's can give me an update on Pretty, on Ndebele's mother. Yeah, I know that. I also know that she is a small female. She's definitely a small female. It looks like she's definitely was, even compared to her brother, or the male in the same, or sibling male siblings. She was even smaller than them, than the male siblings. So it looks like she, I don't know, maybe she just grew slowly, unless she just didn't get enough nutritional milk in that time when her mom was still around. But I'm not too sure. Unfortunately, as I said, I'm just trying to think back on her mother. But yeah, that's very interesting how small she is. Van or Dan?
I think it's between Van or Fan.
Van or Fan. How can I tell the difference between a male and a female? Well, Van, I can see first of all that when Ndebele just lifted her legs, there you can also see the teats, quite large teats. Of course, they got the same as a pseudo penis as well, same as a male, but it's really much not a external genitals. So the females really look the same as the males. That's why it depends on us. So but you find the females much larger than the males themselves, because their testosterone is also very high in a female, and pseudopenis is as well where they kind of do copulate through, they urinate through and all that. So it's very difficult sometimes to tell the difference, but it's actually by the size. But now all of a sudden it's like for me now, I did start looking at the individuals as the hyenas here at the hyena clan, at the Djuma clan. So I was starting to just see exactly, of course, when I saw Ndebele, of course I knew it was a female. But sometimes it is difficult. Sometimes it is you have to really kind of look closely. But the female's genitals look exactly like males. But as Ndebele's teats are much larger compared to a male's teats. They got very small little nipples, where the female's much larger. But she's definitely been clawed on the back and bitten on the face on the one side. Oh, look, it is old wounds, but she's definitely had a proper fight. All right, so I just heard that as well, that Pretty, her mom now, died in 2019. So pretty much a year after Ndebele was born. Of course, she lost her mother then. Very interesting, very. It's nice. I don't know if Ndebele, because she's now 4. So I think she hasn't had any litters yet. So not too long from now, I'm sure she's going to start definitely also show that she's going into heat and all that. And then, of course, I'll get the males trying to see if they can actually throw dominance here for taking, of course, the chance with Ndebele and all that to copulate with her, but nothing yet. So as I said, it's she's just under 4 years old. But as you know, those hyenas are very much one of the top scavengers around. So they are they help each other. So this Djuma clan, if they will be very much individuals, sometimes you'll find them walking around alone. I mean, I saw Ndebele the other night when I was sitting with Tsemba inside the Molawati of Ndebele came past. And they do venture by themselves sometimes because, if you think about it, if you find a kill somewhere and it's a very small kill, you don't want to have 4 or 5 hyenas together on a little kill that's just going to really fill one individual. So sometimes you'll find, especially the males as well, you'll find the males sometimes venturing out by themselves. They don't want to compete with the bigger females. And so at least they can have the opportunity to feed and eat something. But of course, if there's something substantial and they do need assistance, they start, of course, calling each other that typical whooping, and to see if they can get assistance to maybe push a lion or 2 lions off a kill or something like that. And that's when they really gang up. That's why you call it a clan of hyenas, because it sounds like very kind of gang, but clan of hyenas really. And I've seen it before once, where on an elephant carcass many years ago, where of course they had I think 2 or 3 lionesses in the western sector that were busy feeding on an elephant, and there was one hyena that was kind of coming in, and there's 2, the lions chased the hyena every time away, and the hyena said okay, and that hyena just started calling. I tell you, it was not even 20-25 minutes later, I just heard like this, that to make that funny, like a real kind of, not growling, but like a moaning noise. And I told my child, just look to the side, and up the road where they came, and I heard it from, and I looked up, and true as Bob, there was about 20 to 25 hyenas coming down the road all together, heading straight for this elephant carcass. I'm like, oh yeah, it is. And it didn't take long for them to push those lionesses off that kill. And of course, then they pretty much owned that whole carcass. So they don't mind if it's like 20 or 25 of them, and it's a big elephant carcass. Well, then it's a lot of food to go around. So yeah, they are formidable. They're fantastic. One of the top apex predators around. They are absolutely fantastic. I think hyenas. So hyenas are right on top there, even with the lions, and it's just the top carnivores in this area. But definitely Ndebele is. Cindy, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Can I smell the hyena from the car where we're sitting right now? Well, luckily the wind is blowing away from us, or not away from us, so it's away from the hyena, so it's actually from us to the hyena. So luckily not from the hyena to us. Sometimes we would pick it up very quickly, especially these hyena dens. Sometimes you'll pick up a very kind of a urine, sometimes even, how can I say, a little bit of rotten meat or something that's around here. Sometimes you'll actually pick up a funny smell coming from a den site. It's difficult to explain that smell. Something smells like, sometimes but it's a terrible smell. It's like urine. And luckily we don't smell much now. As I said, the wind direction is just right for us. Now, also someone asked about the ears. I think yesterday someone was asking about the ears, about do adult hyenas ever have perfect ears? Well, clearly you can see it, and Bella's been definitely looking after her ears. I think she goes to like an ear doctor or something every day, or like an ear spa treatment to get it finally cut and rounded off every day. But her ears look way better than most of the clan members around here, except the cubs, of course. But I'm talking about Corky and Ribbon and Hart's ears, even in Tima's ears. All of their ears are really been through quite a bit. Well, of course, Nwele's ears are still very nicely kind of rounded off and still in good condition. Good for her. Good on you, girl. Good on you. Typical, those beautiful spots. So the older they get, of course, they're very prominent when they're young as well. There's real spots on them. Hence the name is spotted hyenas. But of course, the older they start getting, slowly but surely, you'll find they start disappearing again. Anyway, while we sit here with all in the belly, let's head to Pridelands, to JP. He wants to say good afternoon to all the viewers.
Good afternoon and welcome to Eco Training Pridelands. For the moment we are looking at a giraffe bull that's busy feeding on the tips of a knobthorn acacia. And it also looks like if he's actually specifically targeting the pods, which has got a high protein yield inside it. There's also some oxpeckers that are calling from his back at the moment. So my name is JP Leroux, and behind the camera we've got BK. I'm going to, for today, provide you 3 facts of giraffes, and then I'm going to ask you to ask the questions that you would like to know about giraffes. I think with fact number 1, let's start off with the most simplistic one, is that they actually can get heights of up to 5.8 meters in height, and that they're the world's tallest land mammal. And also fact number 2, which we can point out at the moment, is that the atlas and axis vertebra are specifically adapted that it can tilt the head in an upright position like it is doing at the moment. And fact number 3, it's got a tongue that's up to 45 centimeters long, and we'll just add to that it's prehensile, and it's got a unique saliva that actually enables fawns to slip simply off a tongue without damaging it. It's amazing to see how long that tongue is and how effective it works to actually strip leaves off. So if there's any facts that you would like to know or stories that you'd like to specifically know about giraffe, you're more than welcome to forward those to us, and I'll gladly see if I can answer them for you. Good afternoon, Ernie, and welcome to the show. There's a number of theories that I've heard, but I've never actually been able to read a scientific paper that actually proves it. So for now, I'm not even going to go there, because otherwise I might actually be feeding you a half-truth. And when it does come to guiding, it's very important to always be factually correct of the information that you do provide, and never to busk. Quite often we'll do find that guides will guess, and they'll provide you with any answer. A very simple process of doing it as a guide is, if you are confronted with a question by a guest, it's just to honestly say, I actually don't know, but let's try and find out. Seeing that we are still on our giraffe, I think I'll bring in a 4th fact, and that 4th fact is going to be about its blood pressure. So when it comes to humans, we are 120 over 180. In the case of a giraffe, that's 240 over 160. That's enormous blood pressure that it has, and it's also the reason why they've got specialized veins that can regulate the flow from blood in 2 different parts, as well as valves, and also why the skin is incredibly thick around the legs. And on top of that, they've also got an enormous heart to accommodate the pumping of all that blood. Good afternoon, Rock Candy Susie. That will be absolutely one of my bucket list things to see. And if I can see a giraffe giving birth, I'll be doing cartwheels on live television. There's quite a few of my colleagues in the years that have actually been lucky, and sometimes you hear somebody says giraffe's just giving birth, and you know that you're 20 minutes away from there. By the time that you do get there, it's actually too late. There's a few animals that I have seen actually giving birth. One of those was a bushbuck, and the other has been impalas. Twice I've now actually seen impala giving birth, and also once I did see buffalo giving birth. But when it does come to giving birth to a calf, that female will drop that calf at approximately 1.4 meters in height. While we're watching our giraffe busy feeding and using its incredibly prehensile tongue to strip off leaves, let's go and see what Kelly is up to.
Wow, JP, I haven't seen anything actually giving birth. I've been very, very close to catching an impala. I think I was about a minute behind. Very, very special moments to capture in the bush. Of course, animals feel very vulnerable when they're giving birth, so often take themselves away to secret places, which is why we miss it. But to see a giraffe, oh, that would be incredible. Very, very cool. I'm keeping half an eye on the parrot tree while I still furiously thumb through both my butterfly book to try and work out what this caterpillar is. I have got an image that I'm trying to work on. Caterpillars and even pupa of a lot of the butterflies and moths are still quite understudied. There is a page that I use to try and identify caterpillars sometimes, and a couple of times people have said to me, I mean, I don't think I would, I'm not sure of the ethics of it, but they say keep it and see what it turns into, because there's just not many studies done around butterfly eggs and the hatching of caterpillars. I actually decided I can't remember where it was, I saw a clip last night I watched about a woman that found a moth that landed on her. And she ended up, I think it was somewhere in the States, she ended up keeping this moth, and it was about how she used to be really scared of moths, or not scared, but she didn't like moths or butterflies. And it was a huge, big moth, I'm not sure what sort of moth it was. And she kept it and she saved it, and she put it on a plant, and it rained overnight. And she kept this moth dry overnight, and this moth laid eggs in this place she kept it overnight, and then she released this moth the next day, and she ended up with 200 eggs, and 180 of these eggs of this moth turned into caterpillars, and she watched them grow, and then they pupated and hatched into moths, and she watched them all unfurl their wings, and then she took them to different locations around where she lived and released them. And it was actually a really, really nice story, and a lovely sentiment that she used to be afraid of them, and she ended up rescuing one and watched it grow, and then helped to increase the numbers of that moth species. It was a very nice story. Anyway, there's still no parrots here on Damcam. I'm scanning round from time to time. I will carry on trying to identify my hairy caterpillar from this morning. I can hear starlings. It actually sounds like they're in the tree above the microphone. And I'm keeping an eye. Ooh, what was that? I've seen a wasp, what looks like maybe a potter's wasp. It's landed on the lens a couple of times. That's quite cool to see a wasp from the other side. But these impala are still peacefully feeding here out in the open. You can hear a black-headed oriole in the background.
Well, welcome back. I left in Ndebele at a young female hyena still at the den site, still resting there. So I just came down towards, I did take a look at the other den site, just east of that one, where of course we had Ribbon and Hearts as their little cubs. But nobody's home that side. That den site is very quiet. I think maybe Ribbon has decided to move off and venture somewhere else for the time being. Anyway, while we came back down to Treehouse Dam, you can see we've got a couple of nice male impala rams. It's really enjoying the little area, this watering hole. I see the water is going down quite a bit, but very slowly at this dam. Looks like Treehouse Dam is also one of those dams that's holding its water quite well, especially that where the rain hasn't been plentiful, but it's still got enough water around here. You'll see the one impala there, it's got one of the rams has got loads of oxpeckers on him. Of course, with symbiotic relationships, so what happens is you'll find that those oxpeckers are busy feeding on all the ticks and fleas, and mainly the ticks on the impala ram itself. And of course, on top of that, they get food from him, and then he gets a nice clean coat. And as well, if there is predators around, if those oxpeckers do notice it before he does, or any of the impalas around the area, they would definitely give an alarm off just to tell them, listen, there's some danger. So we've got two different kinds of oxpeckers around here. Our most common one, of course, is the red-billed oxpeckers. That's what I always try and take a look. If you always see the oxpeckers, always take your binocs out, always take a close look at the oxpeckers itself, and make sure which oxpeckers you do have on that individual. And as you can see, I'm looking at those ones. Those are all red-billed oxpeckers. The one on the rump of the impala is very much a youngster, juvenile. You can still see the beak is still blackish, greyish colour. It hasn't got that red beak yet. And of course, the older ones are really much on the neck area. There's also another, so there's two youngsters and two adults there. Those are the more common oxpeckers that we do get around here. More the uncommon one is your yellow-billed oxpeckers. That's why I say always take out your binocs, take a look carefully. Sometimes you think it's a red-billed oxpecker, and by chance it will be a yellow-billed oxpecker. Look, the yellow-billed oxpecker is a little bit larger compared to the red-billed oxpecker. But you don't get them. They get them further, maybe a little bit. Get them a little bit here, but a little bit further north into the Kruger as well. You'll find more yellow-billed oxpeckers up that side. And interesting fact from the other day as well. Somebody asked how many ticks does an oxpecker eat per day? Well, the answer is roughly plus minus 1,000 ticks per day. That's insane. That's crazy. I couldn't believe it. And but it also depends on which ticks they're eating. Sometimes it can be a Muntu tick, that's the larger of ticks. It could be the rhino tick, like the reddish one with the little black line stripes on it. Or it could be a pepper tick, which is like little pepper grains. It depends on those. But, an rough average or estimate of 1,000 ticks per day. So that's quite a bit. But looks like that ram is definitely getting his spa treatment. Morgan, good afternoon. Some animals more susceptible to ticks than others. I'm sure there is. I'm sure there's. Depends also on the size of their bodies and all that. I mean, I'm sure like elephants, rhinos, buffaloes. Sorry, I just loads of Franklins and crazy. So I'm sure the size of those animals. But I mean, I know that impalas, your antelopes and them themselves, I think their immune system has gotten quite susceptible to the ticks. I know that dogs do get pretty much a disease from the ticks itself, but I think it has to be a tick that hasn't been removed for quite some time. So I'm just trying to take a look on the other side. I just heard those Franklins, even the impalas are now very much alert, and one is looking that way as well. So I'm going to grab my binocs here quickly and just have a little scan there. Maybe lucky. I wonder what bothered those Franklins. much. I see very relaxed plover that side as well now. Maybe they got a fright. Maybe sometimes I find Franklin's going crazy like that, even for your slender mongoose. So even the slender mongoose, they won't be happy with, or maybe a snake, a bird of prey. So there's a few things that Franklin's usually a sort of alarm call for. So I'm not always 100% with Franklin's alarming. But of course, us humans, we're not. We suffer with ticks. I mean, I've had tick bite fever a few times, and it is we get it quite badly sometimes. But of course, we get quite. I'm not saying immune, or you can say immune to it, but like now, I know if I do get tick bite fever, I know sometimes if I get loads of ticks, and I mean ticks love me. They love me. If I walk through the bush on a walk or something, I think every tick around in a 2-3 meter radius where I'm walking, they'll run to me and actually tackle me down and bite me. I don't know, that's just ticks love me. So yeah, but I've had a few times, but now it's just really kind of I get a headache and maybe my glands will swell a little bit, but nothing too serious, as I don't really even have to go see really a doctor. So yeah. But you never know. It depends. I know there's 1-2 ticks, those big grey, thick ticks. If they bite you, I think, and you don't notice them on you, that's going to be it's going to be a little bit of a problem. I think I'm sure you'll notice that tick on you very quickly. Always look between your toes and at the back of your knee. Janet, yes, good afternoon. Thank you very much for the question. Thanks for joining us. Is there other insects that oxpeckers do eat? So I just think the plover's chasing that starling. Yes, they do. So of course, if there's like little fleas or something that's on top of the impalas as well, they would definitely come through and also try and remove them from the animals itself. But not much other things that will be sticking onto the coats of animals and using that as a host. So you'll find only like really your ticks and fleas that will really kind of hang around on the coats of the animals, which of course the oxpeckers will feed on. I know that you also get the flies, a certain I don't know what species it is now. There's a certain fly that also uses animals, so they do actually kind of lay the eggs inside of the skin of almost like a mango fly. Will actually lay these the eggs inside of the skin. So I wonder if they actually eat on that on the lot. Sorry, I'm just taking a look at. Sorry, I just saw a plover chasing a woodlands kingfisher, but he chased the woodlands kingfisher into the water. So these plovers are very, very. There's those two plovers with those two little chicks. So yeah, anyway, I don't know if the oxpeckers will eat onto the little larvas of the fly. Maybe not. I'm not too sure. I haven't heard anything about that. Anyway, let's head back to Kelly and see. I think she's just got a little turban friend with her.
Yeah, those lapwings and plovers, they can be super aggressive. And chasing a woodlands kingfisher. They should be leaving soon. I'm wondering when we're going to see our last woodlands kingfisher. I found terrapin in the dam. I have got no chance of working out what terrapin this is from here. But I'm just watching to go, oh, is that rain? That looks like rain falling in the dam there. I wonder if it's going to get to Cedric. These terrapins are carnivores. They're predators. And first of all, my first thought was this terrapin was like eating some leaves or something, but they don't really eat leaves, so I'm sure it must be rummaging through there, looking for maybe little fish that are in the shallows there, or little invertebrates or something, or I'm not sure what it's looking for in there. It's definitely cruising through the mud there, though. So we get the marsh and the serrated hinged here. I did become a little bit obsessed with telling the difference between them, and I learned that the marsh terrapin has got a little sort of piggy nose that sits quite far forward. It's a very flat sort of little piggy nose, but I can't see what this is. But it's been cruising through this mud. I'm sure it's looking for food here. So the terrapins they used to be the chelonians, they're now the Tustudinae order, include the tortoises, what's that? Tortoises, terrapins and turtles. So our tortoises, land, terrapins, freshwater, and our turtles are seawater. I'm sure this terrapin has found something to eat in here. Definitely digging around here in the foliage and the mud next to the dam. I'm gonna have a quick scan around here. I suffer with terrible FOMO when I'm here on dam cam. I always have visions of parades of aardvark wandering past while I'm watching a terrapin. Quick check at the parrot nest. Can't see anyone moving. How's that sky looking? There's definitely bits of blue there. I do like to scan past the tree because sometimes there's insects and things on it. I've seen a little beetle coming out of that hole before. And let's see if we've got a newcomer since we've been watching we've got a nice Inyala here. Are you going to come for a drink? It does, it looks like he's going to come for a drink. Check me out and my newly acquired camera operating skills. He's a little bit nervous. What's he looking at there? Maybe he's just watching his impala.
Welcome back to Pridelands. At the moment, we quickly popped into Ndlovu Dam, and we did have a big herd of impala here. Unfortunately, a very strong gust of wind came through, and for some reason, they became a little bit spooked. At the moment, we're also watching two Swainson spurfowls. They're fairly easy to actually identify, as they got red facial skin and black legs, which separates them from other similar-looking species which we get out here in the savanna biome. Quite often when you do walk and you are walking through slightly thick grass, these often fly out from right underneath you. If you've been guiding long enough and you're used to the sound of what wings make as if they take off, you actually pause, but they still give a heart attack for most of the people directly behind you. One of the things that you'll notice with spurfowls is that they actually have a tiny little spur on the back end of the foot, which they use as defensive weapons against one another. Those are typically used against males when they are fighting for females. And that's also the sound that they often will produce as they fly up from underneath your feet, as that you are bumping into them in that long grass. was just curious if there was any more questions that anybody had about giraffes that they would like to have answered. And while we have opportunity, good afternoon, White Maiden, and welcome to the show. I've got absolutely no idea why they would have only got two. They're actually calcium deposits, for ossicons, and then they actually also loosely are loose when the giraffe is born, and they only fuse after that the giraffe has born, and that's to prevent that the head gets stuck during the process of actually giving birth. Good afternoon, Darkman Lover, and welcome to the show. In some parts of Africa, some of the giraffe subspecies are actually endangered, as they've got a very limited distribution range. Over in Southern Africa, we're not too much concerned about their conservation status, as they do pretty well out here. And just for those of you that are curious about different subspecies and species, up to some 4 or 5 years ago, we actually only considered it as one single species. And then recently, they've only been split it off into 4 different species. However, in the past, there was 8 or 9 different described subspecies within that single species. If I can just ask that question to be please repeat it, then I can see if I can answer it. I didn't hear that question very clearly. Do you mind to just repeat it? The wind has just muffled that whole question as I turned my head. Good afternoon, Titan, and welcome to the show. When it does come to herbivores, we find that they have teeth on both upper and lower jaw, but the cutting teeth is only on the lower jaw, with the exception of the only herbivore that I know where there's cutting teeth on both upper and lower jaw is actually zebras, and that enables them to actually pull out very coarse grasses. Well, we're going to move on and go and see if we can actually locate on our buffalo from this morning. But in the meanwhile, let's go and see what Cedric is up to.
Well, welcome back. We're at Twin Dams at the moment. We've also got a couple of impala, just like Trias Dam. Looks like every dam has got a nice herd of bachelor boys hanging around the watering area. Yeah, definitely a couple of speckles coming down. Looks like a little bit of rain coming down now. Not much, but a couple of drops. Nothing too serious. Yes, I think JP was talking about giraffe. He hasn't seen giraffe giving birth. That's also one of the things I'd definitely love to see one day. It will be really fascinating. I think the only animals that I've really seen giving birth is wildebeest, zebra, impala. I've seen a few impala, not many, maybe about 4 or 5 impala giving birth. And I think nothing much else. Very kind of animals are very secretive and very kind of they really take cover when they give birth. It's fantastic. Of course, safety. Definitely, they don't want to know. They don't want to be seen by anything at that point of time. That'll be very, very interesting. I was very keen to look for some elephants. I think we haven't seen some elephants around here recently as well. I think we had a small herd the other day, and nothing substantial coming through. No, nice. I wonder where there's old Fang as well. I think Fang has also disappeared somewhere. But it doesn't seem. We've got a cool day like this at these watering holes. They do tend to become a little quiet. James, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Yes, these two bracelets, it's pretty much a copper and a brass bracelet, very sentimental to me. Of course, the Shangaan tribe around here, there's a guy there at Arathusa where I used to work called Dabia. He used to be a tracker. He's actually a guide now. So he gave me one, and also a lady that worked there as well. Her name is Blessing. She gave me the other one. So apparently they believe wearing the two bracelets all the time just reminds you of your ancestors, and it kind of just keeps you close and a close bond with the ancestors. So it's of course one of those Shangaan tribal things. I'm not Shangaan, of course, but it is a kind of a real sentimental thing, and actually that's where you'll find a lot of the Shangaan men and even the ladies will wear these bracelets and all that. This one is just a buff. Well, this is not even a bracelet, it's just a buff in case I get cold and I want to put it around my face. So yeah. Thank you very much for the question, but always something sentimental around here. There's always stories to it. And actually talking about the story, I think I forgot to tell, there was a story I was going to actually explain about the buffalo, and that's down up there at one of the lodges. I don't remember which lodge now, but there's a big male buffalo. We actually went on just before going on a bushwalk. I had this old German couple, and also had a young Italian honeymoon couple as well. Of course, we came back from game drive the morning and getting ready for the bushwalk. And unfortunately, I could see that the old German guy, man, he was struggling really to even get on and off the vehicle. He had a little bit of a hip strain. And he told me, he said, listen, he'd love to go on a walk and all that. I'm like, very difficult, but I'm a bit worried about his hip itself, And he says, no, you can do a walk, but if it's not far. So I said, okay, well, let me speak to the honeymoon couple. Let's find out from them. And of course, I spoke to the Italian honeymoon couple, and they said, no, we can do a short walk, it's not a problem. So of course, I said, fine. So I said it was the four of us, or four of them and myself. So I said to the German guy, okay, you behind me, your wife is going to be behind you, and then I want the honeymoon couple right at the back in case, just for safety. Like, no problem. Anyway, we go on for a walk, and I don't go far. I went about maybe 500, 600 meters away from the lodge itself. I went through one of these little dips, and as I came out of the dip, like a little drainage line, I remember there was always a mud wall on the one side, and as I came out of that dip, the five of us, I looked up and I see at that mud wall, I see a nice big male buffalo busy ruminating, lying in the wallow, ruminating, looking the opposite direction from where we were. And of course, I checked the wind out. We were about maybe 50, 60 meters from us. I checked the wind out. The wind is coming from him to us. That's not an issue. So I told the people, okay, well, let's take this a little animal pathway that pretty much hugs the drainage line, that little dip. And it's very thin, but there's a couple of thorn trees around there and that. And I thought to myself, now, unfortunately, the honeymoon lady, she was wearing those cycling pants, but very short cycling pants. And I thought to myself, I'm like, we're a bit worried about these thorns and all that. I said, but just stick to the pathways, just stay behind me, guys. Let's try and get away. There's a buffalo there. Let's see if we can just get away from that situation. It's like, no, okay, fine. Stuck to the little pathway, going, and next moment, it wasn't about even a minute, 2 minutes later, a guy at the back, telling me, I said, Sadiq. I'm like, turn around, I look behind me, and I see that I see this guy, of course, this buffalo behind us, and I see. So I see this, and his eyes are that big. He's like, yeah, boof, boof. I look behind, I see this buffalo, like, picking up in the scent and busy horning a tree and all that. Not far behind us, maybe 30, 40 meters behind us. I'm like, oh no, he has trouble. I said, okay, well, let's just get. I said, guys, let's just move a little bit quicker with, on this pathway, and to see if we can. I know there's an open clearing in front of the lodge. We're about maybe 400 meters from the lodge. Let's stick with me, and we try and do a little bit of a faster pace, a faster walk. So no problem. So they followed me, whatever. We do a bit of a quicker walk, and I'll carry on. Maybe about 2-3 minutes later, I'll stop. I said, listen, I still hear a bit of rustling behind me. Of course, now it's all in my head. Now this feels like this buffalo is coming, closer towards us. So I said, okay, we'll just have to really keep to this pathway. So of course, I'm getting stuck to the pathway, and I was listening, and I can still hear rustling. I said, okay, let's try and do a bit of a jog and all that. But oh no, the old man's got a bad hip and all that. So I'm a bit worried. So just grab hold of me on the shirt. So just kind of, we can all get together. So we're going down the pathway. Next moment, I feel his grip loosens, so like kind of loosens from my shirt. And next moment, I see he comes past me, but he starts running right past me, like honestly, like there was nothing wrong with his hip. It looked like he was one of the top marathon runners of the century, because he was just going. I looked at his wife. She looked at me. She's like, and I was like, sir, you got to wait. And he's going like, I was like, okay, well, I'm caught up with him. Everybody, because luckily the honeymoon couple were also very fit, so we all just stuck close and got hold of him. I said, so you can't go so fast ahead of us, just stay behind me. He said, no, he wants to go into the open area, he wants to. So I said, no, just stay behind, hold me. So, so I thought, okay, well, he can run, so that's a good thing. So we ran, kind of jogged more, whatever, got to the open clearing with him perfectly intact, there was nothing wrong with his hip. Of course, the old lady behind and the honeymoon couple at the back. Got into the open clearing. Of course, the buffalo by that time disappeared. And, of course, we all get there. We're all kind of panting, very tired. And I looked at this old man, and I'm like, sir, and I said, that is fantastic. I thought there was something wrong with your hip. You couldn't even climb onto a car. You're almost outrunning me. I'm a good runner, and you almost outran me. And he says, oh, no, but it's, I feel a little bit. I said, well, good. I'm so happy for you. It's amazing what adrenaline can do to you. He says, yeah. And his wife looks at him and is like, no, you can run nice like that. Oh. We started laughing, but unfortunately, the poor honeymoon couple, the lady with the hot ski pants, she got kind of a little bit of thorns kind of dragged through her skin, and she got cut up a little bit. And that afternoon game drive came, and I did not see him at all. He was pretty much in bed for the next 2 drives. So one way to test yourself out.
I am still keeping a close eye on our parrot's home with no visitors as yet. I do just want to keep an eye as well. There was a male Nyala walking down towards the water, maybe for a drink. I did see a couple of spots of rain earlier, but it looks like it's cleared. The sky isn't too bad this afternoon. Now, where did our Nyala go? This herd of impalas is bunched tightly together now. Ooh. Oh, there's a warthog here. Oh, look at this boy chasing these. That warthog just ran into the middle of all of them and disrupted everything. What are they looking at? Oh, no, warthog's had enough. Oh, no. What are they looking at? Are they watching this boy chase around or something else? I am so excited I've managed to frame a warthog. Yeah. These warthogs normally run when we view them on. Keep up. No, I'm not fast enough. Where did it go? Come on, I need to be faster. Oh, I don't envy these. There we go, we're back. A little bit too quick there. What's wrong with this? Oh. Okay, a blute. I was just looking at this warthog's back end. Maybe it's just no. Look at me go. I'm trying to see. It almost. No, I give up. It almost looks like it's got an injury there or something on its hind quarters, but it's not going to keep still enough. No, this camera thing is not for me. This is incredibly difficult. I just wanted to try and see if this was an injury on its hind quarters, but it's not going to stay still enough. Ha! They do look so sweet, Megan, but no, they can be very grumpy. I don't like to use the term aggressive with anything here. It's normally defence. You don't get marauding animals marauding around for no reason, being aggressive. It's normally a defence mechanism. But they will get very defensive. We're taught when we're doing when we're walking, never to walk in front of a hole or even close to any hole we see in the bush, because they will come out like a shot. And I'm sure we've all seen clips of them. If a lion tries to dig them out, they will reverse into those holes and they will come out all guns blazing. I remember I was in a vehicle and it was just wrong place, wrong time, and I stopped, and right next to me was a big burrow that contained a warthog, and this huge warthog flew out of this hole and scared the absolute life out of me. But it's just a defence mechanism. I also remember I was walking the dog on a wildlife estate, and on a lead, and there was a warthog, there was a sow with some piglets or hoglets, and she looked at me and I looked at her, and the dog was looking between us both, and I thought, I'm just going to go the other way here. But it's defence. She would have tried to defend her babies or herself against us, and obviously, while the dog was on a lead, they do see that as a predator, which canines basically are. But Megan, yes, they can be deeply unfriendly, and those tusks they wore, I don't know if anyone's ever found one in the bush while we've been on drive and showed you. They're formidable bits of ivory, basically miniature hippo tusks, and they can be very, very sharp. And I've actually heard of people that have been badly injured by warthogs, and they will gash through skin and flesh and all sorts. I'm going to send you over to Cedric now.
Yes, guys, we just found Palamba. I'm trying to get there now. Just hold on. I'm just going to try and turn. As I was talking about it, got it on Gary Main. I'm just going to try and turn around. Yes, my girl. Of course. I can go that way. I think we're seeing something there. It's going to go quickly past her. Looking a bit thin, go. Okay, so I'm going to try and get into a nice position here for everybody. You can see. was a female leopard. Hold on, check here. See this? Hey, my girl. Where have you been? What's coming now? Down Gary made from Cheetah Cut Line. And, yes, I was so happy just to find her. Yeah. Oh, of course, no cubs with her. I think she might have left the cubs back. But she is definitely needing of food. Definitely, that tummy is very empty. All right, let's see. I think there's a nice little spot here. There's a 2-track that we can go around this side. Okay, Paul, just hold on, yeah? Let's see if we can stick with this girl. I want to see where she'll go and come out. Oh, yeah. She's just in front, yeah. Yes, can you believe it? It all worked out. Welcome back, Lalamba. Or Tandi's daughter. Now, of course, she's now pretty much roaming quite far south, and it's the second time we're seeing her coming this far south. The last time I saw her all the way down this side was pretty much on the same day that I got the news of Tandi. So, yeah. Okay, let's try and keep her. It's going to be difficult because there is, I think there's a terrible drainage line that she's going to head into, unless she sticks to the fire break here. Yeah, she will stick to the fire break. Just don't go south. Oh, don't go north, please. I'm just going to see. Of course, she's definitely coming all the way west again. So I think she's left those cubs again inside Torchwood. So I'm just hoping that she's very successful tonight and with a hunt. I'm really hoping that she does pick up on something this tonight or this afternoon. We're going to see maybe a scent mark here, scrape a rubber face against it, turn around, lift a tail, spray. Of course, scent marking quite a bit in this area. Of course, Lunga is also using this area quite a bit. So this is definitely an overlap of territory now with Lunga and Lalamba. I love it when Lalamba does that with a tail. Reminds me a lot of Tandi. I remember Tandi always used to pull the tail up like that. Standing by.
It's John from Situation. Check if any of you are following up on that Lunga sighting from this morning.
I'm not too sure about Lunga sighting. I wasn't on drive, but I just located on Lalamba. On the fire break. We just mobile west away from Chitwa Dam entrance.
Okay, can I join you there?
More than welcome. I don't know how long I can keep her. She's going in this drainage line, but yeah, more than welcome.
Okay, so just give me that exact log. So it's on the fire break on the Djuma side.
Yeah, on the fire break on the northern side of Gary Main. Sorry about the radio, folks. I definitely will be on the radio once or twice just to control this sighting.
Now when I'm on Gary Main.
All right, copy that. You'll see me from Gary Main. This live here. So if I don't answer my radio, it's as a score, all right? She's looking at something there. You can see that pose. But if she goes in here, ooh, I need to definitely try and find her again. It's going to be another story. Cleaning herself now. Fern, good afternoon. Yes. Yes, thank you very much for joining us on our sunset safari. The cubs, definitely, they are very obedient. They know they have to stay, but her cubs is getting to that age now, all of 7-8 months, where they start kind of venturing around where she leaves them, and they become a little bit of a, how can I say, not I want to say nuisance, well, not nuisance, like naughty, like kids. You know, they become like little kids. They become like, you know, they want to do their own little thing and start venturing around and all that. So yeah, but they're still obedient to the whole thing. They're still obedient in staying in the area where she keeps them or where she leaves them. But you never know, you know. That's. I mean, we haven't seen the cubs for a couple of days, and I think, or not a couple, maybe for about almost a week now. So, but I know that they are left inside Torchwood the last time, and exactly that's where she's come from. Copy. But she's got such a tandy look. I love it. That's one thing looking at Lalamba. I think when I see Lalamba's face, like now, the first time when I just found her, and I saw her face, it's almost like a typical dark, beautiful, I don't know, they just got that unique look to them. The whole lineage from Karula, Tandy, Shadow, him and Lalamba. There she comes out now. Slowly, she walked right past him. Paul, I think Paul almost cried himself there. Well done, Paul. Lovely. I looked like I Paul myself every time we're lucky with leopards around this side. Sorry about that.
Well done, Cedric. We have been very lucky with these beautiful leopardess that we know so well so far today, especially in these cool, windy conditions. But it does make it nice for these girls to maybe get some hunting done. I'm so glad you found her. Someone actually said this morning, it's been a while since we saw her, so I'm very glad she's shown herself. As I expected, these impala are staying out in the open. Oh, we've got our wasp back. Where's this big male gone? He was chasing around like crazy just now until the warthog came and disrupted everything. I'm sure this is it looked like a potter's wasp when it was close to the lens earlier, but it might be a different insect.
welcome back, everybody. We just lost her just for the moment. For now, I think she's just gone into this little drainage line here with a lot of tambuti trees, and I just want to see. Just gonna wait a little bit. I'm sure she'll make a appearance here soon. I'm not gonna follow in there with all the tambutis and the sodic areas and all that. So, just gonna wait a little bit. Be a little bit patient. Everyone, just remain on your seats, remain watching. I think, she comes out there now. There we go. Okay, there's another vehicle that's just joined us now. So we're just gonna. Maybe she'll come back onto the road again. I'll just take a look if she goes straight forward there. There we go. I think we can maybe. Let's see. Sorry about the other vehicle there, folks. As I said, there's just one vehicle that's just joined us now, which is a good thing sometimes, just in case she does go through the drainage line, just to have more eyes to try and follow up and keep her. As you can see, she's just sitting there, just listening out. And I know that towards Twin Dams, there was a nice herd of impala that side. She's going to come straight up. She's going to come on the road again for us. See, exactly. There's always say patience, and always works out. Just give them enough time and space, and you'll find get a nice view again of her coming straight out on the road here. Hey, my girl, scent marking again. Just leaving a scent, diving, spraying. Yes, she's really also scent marking. I think why the leopards are scent marking so much at this point in time, it's also, remember, due to the bit of rain that we've had. So, of course, the rain that we did have does sometimes wash the scent away. So they sometimes have to re-scent the areas, and they do it more so in cases of like this now. That's why I think Shaduli had the same situation. All right, let's follow up down there. Are they? Oh, beautiful, as you can see. Toledo, good afternoon. How many cubs does Tlalama have? She's got 2 cubs. Oh, sorry, I just want to try and get through here. She's going back to the road, yeah. Toledo, she's got 2 cubs. She's got a male cub and a female cub. And they're about 7-8 months old now. So they're getting to that nice little age. I think she's, I just want to see where is. Sorry guys, I just want to see which way she's going. She looks like she wants to head back to Gary, Main. I just want to double check. I don't want to lose her here. All right, let's try and get across here. Yeah, Toledo, yeah. So she's got 2 cubs, and so far, so good. She's doing really well with them, and I think she's become a really good mother to those 2 cubs. She's really kind of, I might have the wrong side of the drainage line. Yeah, just want to double check if she comes across. At least I'm on this side. There she is. Hey, my girl. Yeah, so she's quite a busy mom. So, of course, having 2 cubs, looking after those cubs, especially at that age, are eating quite a bit now. So when she makes a kill, she has to go all the way back. Or when she makes a kill, first she'll eat a little bit, make sure that she gets a little bit of her own fill. And then she'll usually put it up in a tree, or sometimes if there's no trees, she'll kind of stash it under a bush or something, and then head back to go get the cubs, come back again to the kill, and sometimes those kills will be stolen by a leopard or something, and then all of a sudden she has to go away again and try and look for another kill, or first stash the cubs away again in another drainage line. And yeah, so mother leopards are very busy, and especially if the kills keep on getting stolen by hyenas. That's why for her she needs to learn to put those kills more into a tree more and more and more. So yeah, that's very important for her. Standing by. I'm standing by for you. Go. Copy, go. She's going straight to Gary Main. I'm standing by. Go with your comms.
That's Cedric. What's happening in Djuma?
Yeah, we just got Tlalamba, no Montans, just Tlalamba at the moment. Dion and myself on lucky at the moment. I don't know if there was another station that called in at the moment, but if not, you can take a third mover. So yeah, sorry, I'm just trying to get through this here, but yeah, she's on Gary Main. She's at the 47 Junction Link. Sorry about that, folks. I'm going to try and see if I can just get around from this drainage line here. I think I have to pop in here. We can get in front of her there. She's not going to go south, because south, I think her southern boundary is Gary Main. It seems like it. Let's see. Yo, I have to get through. She was coming, Tlalamba was coming from, Tlalamba was coming from the east. She's coming west, so she came from Cheetah Cut Line, Gary Main, that area. I think she did exactly like last time when we found her on Gary Main as well. Looks like she stashed her cubs in Torchwood side, so she's coming towards the Molawati side. All right, let's see. Let me know if it's right. Must it go that side rather? All right, sorry guys, I'm just going to try and... I don't want to block her there, eh? So yeah, she's on Gary Main. She was coming straight from Cheetah Cut Line.
Junior, Johan and I will be coming in on it.
I was picking, see how she's doing the scent down. It's just pretty much a Fleming grimace, opening her mouth like that. Of course, picking up on a scent of some, maybe langa, maybe a male. But she's definitely picked up on a scent of something there. So many times you'll find that they actually roll back their lips and open a gland called the nasal gland. And of course, they run that scent over that gland. And it gives them the information exactly on everything about whoever they picked up on. Yeah, she's going to slowly come down this side. Sorry about the vehicle again there, folks. As I said, there is one vehicle that's in here with us at the moment. Look at that. Beautiful. Look at that tail. That scorpion. I love it when they do that. I remember that time when I saw Tony going with that warthog and she was unsuccessful. Well, she just showed us it could do it. She has to lift her tail up like that and off she goes like a proud cat. Alright. What did she just do there now? She like lay down and she lay down and just really rolling and really leaving her scent behind, making sure that every blade of grass, every leaf, every branch has got some sort of scent to it that she's leaving on there. Gina, good afternoon. Will Talamba take over Tundy's area? I think she would. I mean, she is coming quite far south now, where this is Tundy's area. And look how she's scent marking. So she's definitely showing that this is her territory. I mean, if it's not her territory, she will not go and scent mark. She will not go out of her way to go to every bush and make sure that she's leaving her scent behind on the bushes and all that. But, yeah, no, that is exactly, I think, the case that's going to happen now. But it's also Langa as well. So there's another female, Langa, she's also another female that's also looking very interested in this area. And I think Langa is also going to definitely, sooner or later, the two will definitely bump into each other once they're doing the patrolling and of course looking and doing the scent marking or something. They would maybe bump into each other. Hey, Michael. Okay, there is a few cards here, but we're going to try and see if we can reposition just now.
Fantastic work, Cedric. Oh, so good to see this Lady Talamba. And almost equally as good to see the parrots. They were both here just now. There we go, and that's where their little nesting hole is. I am convinced there are eggs in here. Oh, these are cute little guys. I love the way they clamber around on the trees with those specialized gripping feet. I knew if I watched long enough they would arrive. I have checked, and the laying dates for this time of year for these parrots is pretty much spot on. So now we wait, I guess, and we wait, and then at some point, hopefully, we will see some extra little beaks popping out of this hole. Can hear them calling to each other. So they are monogamous, and these parrots will stay together for the duration. So incubation period 26 to 30 days.
Welcome back to Eco Training Pridelands. We managed to relocate our buffalo herd after tracking them. It took us a little bit of time, but after working the blocks, finding fresh tracks, as well as fresh dung and signs of fresh urine, we managed to find them very quickly. And as it became really close to them, we also heard some oxpeckers that were flying up, which made it a little bit easier for us to locate them in the thick vegetation. We simply waited for them over here, and they're now all moving in front of us. It seems that they're going for a higher area for the evening. So there's a few interesting behaviours which we've noticed so far this afternoon. One of them is a lot of ruminating taking place, and two of the individuals that are directly in front of us are actually re-chewing the cud. We've also noticed that some of the individuals are still busy feeding, and we also noticed some young calves trying to suckle on the females. Some of the other interesting behaviour that we did see is some of the bulls that are checking females' reproductive condition by simply sampling the urine and then wrinkling up their nostrils up and down so that they can expose that scent to the neonatal organ to analyse it and to see if a female is in full estrus. We also saw one of the bulls trying to attempt to mate with a female. However, she was not really interested and she managed to move off underneath him. For those of you that are curious about the birth periods for buffalo, it's normally in the wet season. However, they can give births at almost any time over here. We will notice that any inception that takes place now will lead to a roughly 11-month gestation period, which will be roughly a birth which is coming somewhere next year, February, which is still within the wet season. Some of the other behaviours that we've also noticed this afternoon is a lot of the individuals, when they do come out of a thicket, they will walk straight towards us with their head up, nose high, and then try and smell and come and investigate what we are. And that's referred to as a predator inspection. Good afternoon, Kerry Lynn. I just love watching buffalo. They are really impressive animals and they can really appear very intimidating. Sometimes when I do go and ride trails, I do go and ride mountain bike trails on a number of farms. There's a number of domesticated cattle, and when you do stumble up on them on the mountain bike, automatically your mind goes to buffalo, knowing that they're one of the most dangerous animals in the African bush. However, they seem to always be so placid, and then you start wondering why they can be, their wild counterparts in terms of African buffalo can be so incredibly aggressive. And one of those reasons, large amount of different predators that wants to try and predate on you. It's also even interesting that certain species of domesticated cattle can also turn incredibly wild and incredibly aggressive within a few generations if they are left alone. As long as there's a sufficient amount of predators that will push them hard enough, that will become the response out of those animals. When it does come to buffalo, they're very quick to attack as well. They're very quickly to protect their young by simply bunching up the calves. And very quickly you'll see that they will use their horns to either try and engorge a potential predator such as a lion. I've actually seen it a few times where lioness was a little bit over-eager. She went for one of the buffalo bulls and he simply scooped her with the horns, tossed her up into the air a few times, and then simply just trampled her. One of the other things that is also quite scary about buffalo is when they run through thick vegetation, and there's very little that stops them. And they pretty much run at over 40 kilometers an hour. In general, when we do walks and we do approach big herds of buffalo, I always make sure that I'm well out of the side of where they can't smell me. But secondly, I also make sure that there's no secondary predator disturbances which can potentially startle them and push them into your direction. Well, we're going to watch our buffalo for a little bit longer and see what they get up to. And if we still have them when we do come back to us, you're more than welcome to ask us some questions if you do have any questions about buffalo. But for now, let's go and see what Kerry and the parrots are up to.
Good luck with sticking with your buffalo, JP. I am stuck with the parrots in a good way. I love watching these little guys. So this one facing right is almost completely level. You can actually hear them calling. I've been watching them to make sure that, because they are solitary nesters, and I've been watching them intently to see that when I hear the noise, they're moving their mouths. And I did just see that one on the left there. I was wondering if there wasn't more around. It's actually quite difficult to tell who is who. The female is slightly bigger. Sorry, no, they're not. The male is bigger in this. It's raptors. The female is bigger. So the male is slightly bigger, so I would hazard a guess but it's probably the male on the left who's doing all the grooming there, keeping their feathers in good order. And this possible female on the right here is almost directly in line with their nesting hole there. Is she gonna hop down in there? So normally incubation is just the female and food will be bought by the male. That's very cute. They are monogamous, so they're strengthening their pair bond here. Lots of kisses. I must stop humanizing these animals. They are pair bonding. But they do look like they're having a kiss. And she will be quite dependent on him while she's incubating. He will be bringing food. They're very cute, Jason, aren't they? How lovely seeing this little pair of parrots canoodling, as my mum would say. Canoodling parrots. And they're all fluffed up. It is breezy today, so they're only small. Busy keeping those feathers in a good working order. I'm just wondering if this is almost waiting for this one on the right to hop back down in there into this hole and see if my theory is correct. Because technically, according to my resources, it is normally the female that will incubate and the male will bring food. I haven't actually been able to find out, though, how long she will be away from the nest or off the eggs, more to the point. Oh, that's strange. That wasn't me. I've got to race around to the parrots now before they go. Ooh, that cloud's looking a bit dark up there. Ooh, that's changed dramatically since I've been watching the parrots. I'm so excited to ooh, that's raining over there. Oh gosh. This section just here. You can see that rain is coming down. I'm not sure which way it's moving. But it might be coming this way. Good to have a scan around. I'm going to carry on watching these clouds and watching these parrots. I actually just missed then. I think that male has left, and I'm interested to see if this other one that's sitting here on this branch actually hops down into this hole now. Oh, now he's come back. Okay. So this one on the left has gone down into the hole. And off they go. Ooh, that sky is looking heavy with rain. I'm just gonna scoot round past the tree. I do like to check that insect hole there. Lovely to get a bit of time with our parrot couple.
Welcome back to Brylands. We've got a cow that's very curious about us, and we've got a bull directly behind her, which is incredibly curious about her reproductive condition. I was just busy sampling urine again and checking her reproductive status. I was hoping that we were going to catch that phlegm and grimace, as I would have loved to have shown you that. It seems that our buffalo is now slowly starting to move away from us. Let's just keep our eyes open and we'll see what they're going to do. I'm just going to quickly reposition and see if we can get a better view of them. Good afternoon, Ian, and welcome to the show. It's actually very difficult to answer your question because we don't find that a lot of leucistic animals make it for very long, as they are easily targeted by a host of different predators as if they stand out. So our group of buffalo, they will now be following the pathfinders. And these pathfinders are definitely leading them up towards the area, up in the ridge closer to an area which we'd call Afsal. And it's most likely where they'll go and rest for the evening before they start going mobile again tomorrow. But for now, let's go and see what Cedric and his leopard is up to.
Yeah, welcome back, guys. We've just relocated on Columba. It's just sitting there at the drainage line here. Yes, there is huge clouds coming through. Looks like big rain is coming through at the moment. But she is sitting here, and I think she's just looking inside the drainage line, and she's just trying to see and listen out. So I'm not going to go further. And there is another 2 vehicles around here at the moment that we do have around here. So of course we just have to just. Unfortunately, you're going to hear other people talk in the background, but there is another 2 vehicles in the sighting at the moment. Okay. So yeah, as you can see, there is another vehicle further just past her into the drainage line. But yeah, as I can say, these clouds are looking very ominous. I'm not going to stick too much longer here. I think she's also very hungry. I think she also really wants to hunt and listening out for any food or anything like that. All right, but the rain is starting to come down now. It's just getting a little bit wet around here. Oh, she's just run into her. She just ran into a thick. I think she just saw something there. Yeah, she's just gone into that little thick bush there. And there's no more visual on her. But we'll just have to try and wait and see maybe she pops out here for us. And I'm hoping for something, but as I said, it is a little chaotic at the other vehicle, so I might have to just move out here very soon and let her be. I think that might be the best thing. And here comes the rain. All right, we're going to link to Kelly and see if she's got some Impala while we quickly put our raincoats and everything up here.
I'm not surprised it is starting to rain there, Cedric. I've been watching this sky here on Damcam, and I'm watching out the window, and it is getting dark out there. I wonder what Lady Talumba is going to come out with. What's that? Is that a rock always there? No, that's an Inyala. Hello, Inyala. What are you doing there? Looks like he's feeding down there. I just want to show you the skies I've been watching here. It's actually looking a little bit better this side, but it is very dark. This is a definite rainy sky. Oh, I think that's just a spot of rain there. Let's have a look on the water in the dam and see if it's actually falling. Yes, this rain is coming in as I expected. Let's see how long they can keep this camera equipment dry out here. Where did that Anyala go? There we go. This is indeed very good hunting conditions. Predators will use these. Where did he go? Is that an Anyala or a water bug? Oh, there's a wildebeest joined in as well over the back there with the impala. You can actually hear the rain coming down, and yes, this is indeed going to be excellent hunting conditions for predators. Look how all of these impalas are bunched tightly together. Always looking in different directions. This wildebeest has decided he's going to be safer in with this group. Oh, hello, boys. Nice, strong, healthy-looking impalas wandering to the bottom of the tree there. Hi. Oh, it's so nice to be able to watch animals this close without disturbing them. Jonesy, yes, there is. I think he's got the right idea, to be honest. So this is a great territory up around here towards Quarantine. There's good food, there's a water source, it's nice and open. So I think this male wildebeest has got the right idea hanging around here, to be honest. He's got lots of eyes and ears to keep a watch on everything. I think he's a very smart wildebeest, to be honest. You can see these impalas are wet. Yeah, this rain is coming now. Almost exactly the same time as yesterday, actually. I'm sure you can hear this pitter-patter on the mic here at Damcam as well. Good afternoon. We were just talking about you. It's so nice to be able to watch these animals without disturbing them. I'm going to carry on watching this male wildebeest as he disappears out of my frame, and I'm going to send you over to JP, who's at a watering hole.
Welcome back to Pridelands. We quickly went to go and pop in at Ndlovu Dam, see what's going on there, and we got lucky. We've got a whole group of elephants over here at the moment, and two of our bulls at the back is actually play fighting there. And this is all in aid of gaining the necessary skills which you are going to need from the age of 25 and onwards when you're starting to have to compete against larger bulls when it comes for access to mating rights. And it's only equal-sized bulls which will normally fight when it does come to serious fights, as that you can use your sheer size to actually intimidate your rivals. Generally, when you find that these bulls are after cows, they will be in a condition which is known as must. And one of the things I find particularly interesting about must is that smaller bulls that are actually not as strong as more dominant individuals that wasn't in must actually manage to kill that much larger bulls just because of that 6 times increase of testosterone. We've also just got one of a lone buffalo that has just sneaked in to come and have a quick drink. Seems that this buffalo is no longer forming part of a herd, and we've actually noticed him once or twice now here with either falling behind with a herd or just moving on his own. And it's generally here from the age of 8 to 11 that they will start breaking away from the main herds when they are exhausted from mating. Good afternoon, Dizzy, and welcome to the show. Yes, I'm also happy to find elephants. I'm happy to see elephants every single day. I can watch them for hours and hours and hours. This is such an intelligent animal, and they're always doing something. And I just love it when they actually start figuring out stuff for themselves when there is a challenge that comes their way. I also personally believe that elephants have some form of mischief up their sleeve and that they know how to play pranks on you as well. One of those that did play a prank on me a few years ago, he actually chased us away from our sundowner table. So we all got back into the vehicle. And we gave him some space, and then he walked away, and we went to go back to go and retrieve our drinks on our table. And by the time that we got there, he was playing with a cooler box, flipping the lid up and down. So we gave him some more space, and he ran off. And then as we came back, he came back, and he played this same game over and over for at least 5 times that he tried to with a cooler box. Eventually, we went to go and hide behind a big tree on the other side of the bush, and he thought we were gone. And then he made off. And then we quickly came back, grabbed our tables, and he saw us as we grabbed the stuff. And then he came running after the vehicle.
Good call, JP. I would indeed be staying with a lovely big group of elephants like that. The rain has started here at Djuma, and I'm keeping an eye on our wildebeest. Quick scan around. I'm always so scared of missing something. A little bachelor group of impala just moving away from there is another. There is a breeding herd closer towards the water. Check my insect tree. There are blacksmith's lapwings have also made their way up here with this group of impala down at the bottom.
Welcome back to Pridelands. We still with our elephants. We're just watching what they're getting up to. It seems as if some of them are actually now moving off. All the remainders stopped now drinking. Our buffalo bull is still, however, drinking. And as we mentioned earlier, they tend to break out of groups, away from the groups roughly by the age of 8 to 11. The reason simply is because of the competition. It becomes too intense when it comes to competing with other bulls for females. Eventually they'll take a break, and in some cases they'll actually return back into that herd. Both our buffalo as well as our elephant seems very uncertain about what's going on, especially with a strong wind. Good afternoon, Renata, and welcome to the show. I have not actually seen that elephant yet. We find over here that's quite interesting. It's actually two males are trying to mount one another and mate with one another. And quite often when we do find that it's purely a dominance signal, we find it in both cats, dog species, as well as I've seen it with giraffe as well. Especially giraffe bulls, if a loser loses, when it comes to losing a fight, the more dominant individual will actually mount the loser. We've got two of our other bulls still playing with trunks. Trunk wrestling is one of the things that they love doing. Sometimes interesting just to watch them as well, standing side to side. They're actually edging one another in terms of size, and then also using size to try and intimidate one another. Good afternoon, Jackie. Yes, when it does come to elephants, they will chase other species away from waterholes. And a few days ago, we were actually watching two elephants that were chasing away a buffalo that was trying to wallow as well as come in to drink. It just sometimes just depends on the temperament of the elephant. But quite often I found that large single bulls like to dominate other animals coming to water. And I've actually even seen them chasing off rhinos, and as well as smacking a black rhino off its feet simply by smacking it with a trunk. As our elephants are disappearing now, it still amazes me how quiet they are for such big animals and how they can just appear out of nowhere and you just don't even hear them. Well, our elephants have now disappeared. Let's go and see what Cedric is up to.
Yes, welcome back, everybody. All right, just quickly an update on Tlalamba. I just want to let you know. Fortunately, we were in the Molawati, and she was busy stalking stuff, but on the eastern bank of the Molawati, so sometimes not the greatest of signals that side. So I do apologize if we did have a bit of a static signal. But other than that, I did not want to carry on with her. She went into very thick vegetation heading north. She was very interested in something. Her tummy is looking quite empty, and I think it's a good best thing is to try and give her that a better opportunity by herself. To go and hunting through the areas, and maybe she is lucky with something. And the thing is, if she is lucky with something, she'll come and get her cubs. Where we are now, she's at a cut line, and hopefully she'll then take the cubs back to whatever she has killed. So I'm just left her there, but she's looking good. Everything's 100%, so fantastic. It's so good to see Tlalamba again. I think it's always, how can I say, it makes my heart happy. and especially, of course, after Tandy's passing, it's nice just to see her for the first time now in Djuma, and yeah, that's fantastic, good news. So yeah, we're going to carry on up to the cut line. I'm going to try and take a look further up that side. I know that I had young male leopard tracks going up in towards Gwaripan the other day, and like yesterday morning, so I think I just want to head into that direction. Maybe my reps head up into that area, but yeah, we were hit with quite a bit of rain as well, so we are very soaked at the moment, and yeah, so I'm just going to be pulling out my goggles and my snorkel very soon, and then of course Paul and myself will swim back to the camp. Alright, let's move on. Oh, look at my fingers. Nice, good old rain. It's nice having rain at this time. I mean, April. Wow. It's not like heavy rain. Look, it was a quick downpour, but it wasn't the heaviest. Oh, some brown-headed parrots going crazy there as well. And a lilac-breasted roller. Sorry, I'm just taking a look on the side here. And maybe I hear the brown-headed parrot somewhere in the tree. They blend in so well with that little bit of green of them and their brown heads. But I do hear them screeching. But of course, we've got a lilac-breasted roller that's sitting. Let's see if Paul can get it there. That's it, yeah. And then, boom. I think it's so well camouflaged on that black stump. It's so difficult to see that line. You can barely see that bird. Let me just go back a little bit. Maybe we can get a better angle. Sorry, Paul. I think I'm gonna just sneak back. I'm just gonna sneak back. Just let me know when it is a little bit better there. I think is it getting worse? It might get worse. Yeah, it's gonna get worse. I think let me just go a little bit forward then. It might get maybe a little bit better if we go forward. Wait, I think like there, we can get it maybe there, eh? Kind of. Yeah, well, it looks better. Oh, there it is. That's better. Well, beautiful lilac-breasted roller. Of course, a lot of these birds are just taking a bit of refuge under some of the trees, under the canopy of the trees, and that's just to stay away from the rain that's just come past. It's still raining, but of course, it's not a nice thing if a bird wants to fly around with wet wings. So yeah, no, it's just taking a bit of shelter, and I think those brown-headed parrots, it's busy chirping, that high-pitched chirp in the tree as well. I'm trying to find where they are, but they are so well camouflaged. A bit of a silhouette, huh? But there's no sun. Usually you'll get to really see the lilac-breasted roller pretty well if the sun is out. And of course, once the sun hits them and all that, the feathers, it's of course a beautiful purple lilac color comes out on the breast, the electric blue on the wings, and yeah, they've got so many different little colors around there. But it looks like we've just got really not much of the sun coming through. And it's quite dark at the moment already as it is. Still just sitting with a beautiful lilac-breasted roller. Let's enjoy. I'm just going to keep a little bit quiet now. I just want to listen to those beautiful parrots. If you do hear them, hopefully they just start squeaking for us. That's right. I'm going to quickly reverse a bit. Yeah, I think I see a nice red-crested Quran, so don't worry. Let's. So I'm going to go a little bit back, folks. So I think it's a beautiful red-crested Quran. Unfortunately, Jared, but there's a lot of things that's wet here at the moment. there's a lot of things that's wet here. Standing by.
Are there any other updates about Langa?
Negative. I haven't heard anything so far. Where was Langa? Apparently it's something at Langa.
I don't know anything about Langa.
Alright, copy now. I just heard someone was asking me if I was going to follow up there. I don't know anything about that.
All these boys have gathered here under the tree where the parrots are nesting at the moment. I'm sure maybe for a little bit of shade, a little bit of cover. From this rain. It does sound like it's easing up a little bit now. Let's have a look on the water. See if it's easing. It sounds like it is not quite as heavy as it was. There was a big black cloud that came in though. It seems like it's eased off a bit. Well done, Cedric, for hanging on out there. Right, Wayne, thank you very much. Yes, I itch to get out there. I suffer from really bad FOMO. Hopefully we think the fixer man is hopefully back first thing tomorrow, so I'm hoping that by tomorrow afternoon we will both be back out again. We get the feeling that it's not a huge thing, it's just a thing that we can't fix, so we hope Opar is going to resolve the situation quickly with dear darling Wendy. But thank you for feeling my pain. It's actually really nice though to be able to sit here at DamCam. I've got a selection of books with me. It's a really nice opportunity to do some research. It's very different here to the guiding jobs I've been in before, and working with guests. It's quite fast-paced, but this is actually, it's so nice to be able to take your time with different species. It's not like we all have you here for 3 days or 4 days like we normally do. You're all here all the time, and it's such a joy to be able to spend that extra time watching behaviours, and we are learning all the time because of that. Hello, Mr. Impala. And this is great as well because we are completely unintrusive on these animals around the DamCam. They have no idea that we're here. They could not care less that we are watching them. Not that the animals out there are overly concerned, but I just really enjoy the fact that there is absolutely no impact at all. One of my favourite ways to watch animals is actually from decks or platforms or tree houses, that sort of thing. Chase. Chase, you are 100% correct. That's exactly why these animals congregate here. And we've seen many times, I mean, even in the time I've been here, in less than a month, we've had wild dogs, leopards, lions, all sorts show up. He just had a little, oh, you wet, boy. We've had so many things show up at this dam, and this is a brilliant spot. There's open, there's some cover in the tree line, there's water, there's protection. This is a great, great spot for animals, and it's why we see so much activity here. Oops, I actually really enjoy watching the differences in behaviour in different areas. Some animals prefer thickets, like your browsers, your kudu and things like this. You often find them hiding away in the thickets. Whereas your impala are multi-purpose, and we find them all over the place. I'm going to carry on watching the raindrops on this water, and I'm going to send you back to Cedric, who I think has a teeny tiny carnival.
Yeah, welcome back. I'm sitting with one of my favourite little animals, a little dwarf mongoose. You can see that they're poking their heads out of the termite mound. They are so cute and so curious. And I think on a wet day like this, they don't want to be foraging around in this wet grass. Whoopie, there you are. Of course, they use the termite mounds as their den sites. And so yeah, they're always, especially these termite mounds, that's really much not occupied by termites no more. And of course, they'll use that to have little den sites. And of course, they don't just stay at the one den site. They'll usually tend to move from mound to mound, usually about 4 or 5 days. They'll move to a new mound, and then maybe a fallen over tree or a dead tree, and using that as a den site. But these are very much your smallest carnivores in southern Africa, really much just feeding on insects and insectivorous. They love those little grubs and beetles and grasshoppers, any insects that'll do for them. They're very, very curious. And of course, usually you'll find around about 25, 30 in a pack of little dwarf mongoose, and that family will be run by an alpha male and an alpha female. So they're the ones that will be controlling the pack itself. And they're very curious. They're very interesting little creatures. I love them too, but some days I can actually just sit and watch them. But like on a day like this, when it's so wet, I find them not doing too much. As I said, the grass is if you do see dwarf mongoose in the park or wherever you are, and they do run away, just stay there a bit for them. Well, Erica, of course, males are very much chosen when it comes to not even a grooming competition. The females is with a grooming competition. The males are really much controlled by a little bit more of a, I think Kelly doesn't want to use an aggressive way, aggressive animal, but I think they do it in more of a demanding way of demanding behavior compared to each other, to each other and all that in the pack itself. So, but the females don't do that. The males will have more of a kind of stamp their authority down on saying who's going to be the new alpha male, where the females will have actually the grooming competition where they will actually lick each other all over, and it'll actually be kind of witnessed by the dominant male or the alpha male, and he'll pretty much sit to the side and watch the two females grooming. It could take hours, the grooming competition. It's fine grooming and all that, and it's grooming each other all over the show. And usually you'll find that many times the wettest female that's the wettest has been groomed properly. In other words, then the other female will become the new alpha female, and it's pretty much chosen due to the alpha males, witnessing of the females grooming each other. So yeah, that's how they really much get their ranking in in a dwarf mongoose pack. But as well, they're also very much territorial to where their den site is now. So if there is another family of dwarf mongoose coming into the area, they will not tolerate it. And 10 to 1, they'll try and chase them out of the area due to also the foraging and the amount of, or the availability of food and insects in the area, especially when winter starts coming through, where they have to really search much further and much deeper and start digging more, because a lot of the beetles, like for instance your dung beetles, would have laid eggs and the larvae would be under the ground. That's why you find the dwarf mongoose, they'll go and they'll actually scurry, or they'll actually kind of forage through elephant dung or rhino middens, and where at the bottom of the rhino middens you'll find a lot of those big grubs and larvae that's sitting at the bottom of the dung itself in the sand, and they'll become very territorial over the little area. And then of course 4 days time or 5 days time they'll move again. Olsen, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, they do, of course, not against prey, but I mean, if there's snakes around, look, there has been witnesses of them actually taking little snakes and all that, but they are more insectivorous and not really going for the reptiles, and that where you'll find your other mongoose, like your your banded mongoose, they will gang up against things like a snake or snakes and all that. Your slender mongoose, well, your slender mongoose is a solitary mongoose compared to where your dwarf mongoose and your banded mongoose is more more family orientated. Look, they won't go. You'll find when they do forage, they forage by themselves. The dwarf mongoose itself, they really spread out in that little area, and they'll choose for themselves. Sometimes you'll find the younger ones following an older one and just learning where to forage and what to do and how to go about, looking for a meal underground. And so it looks like they've disappeared. I think they came to witness us now, and now they decided to go lie down. I think they got the good idea, because with this kind of weather, I think most of the mongoose inside that mound is busy drinking a cup of hot chocolate and got a nice grub in their hands and under some duvets.
Have they got hot chocolate and duvets in there? I want in. That sounds like a perfect setup. I've just been watching this male impala. Keep an eye on all these girlies. Look how he's, look, they're coming out from the right-hand side there. Look, he's pushing them. Get round there where I can see you. Get out there. He wants to know where everyone is. He's keeping a close eye on. This boy's going to be exhausted soon. See how he's moving them from the back? There he is. Oh. Someone's straying too far by the looks of it. Where's he off to? Ooh, gonna lose him. I'm so bad at this. Let's speed up a bit. Where's he gone? Where's he going? Yep, they've gone too far. Which I'm sure he's going to move them back to the rest of the group there. There we go. You're going to be tired, boy. See that head dropped?
road. I'm going to do Mamba Link. Just take a look around this side. I think I see a lot of Kulu further on, but it's still very wet. Well, hopefully everybody is having a fantastic weekend. It is a lovely weekend, and hopefully some of you went to go and do a little bit of hiking and adventuring around the areas. And definitely I'm driving and showering at the same time. But can't ask for better. I mean, in nature like this, it doesn't bother me. I can get drenched and I'll still enjoy. All the time. Any day. A little bit of blue skies coming through. Kerry Lynn, good afternoon. Do I ever see crocodiles and hippos walking around in weather like this? Okay, two things. Crocodile, not so much. Crocodile, they do need to warm up their bodies. So many times they'll do like the sunning on really hot sunny days just to get their body temperature up so they can become a little bit more active, a little bit more mobile. So I think on a day like this, crocodiles moving around will be very unlikely because it's very cool today. There hasn't been sun around today, so I think a crocodile's body temperature on a day like this will be very low. So a little bit, very little activity. Where a hippo, I think, is the other way. Maybe a hippo is more so because the hippos, if it's very sunny, they'll stay in the water. If it's, very cool and winter days are coming through, you'll find that they rather more kind of lie on the opens and open clearings. So yes, definitely, I would rather say and believe that I'll find a hippo moving on a day like this than a crocodile. So you'll find a lot of your reptiles on a day like this is very, you don't see many of them around now. They're going to be very, very few and far between. I think I just took the, I just went in a circle. I think I just took the wrong road. Cedric. I should have gone down that other road here now. But yeah, I would love to see a hippo out of the water now. That's one thing. I love it. I actually love seeing them out of the water. Those big hippos with those short little stumpy legs and very, very cute. I actually love it when they're out the water. But while I try and head down back onto Mamba, let's head to JP. I think, he's doing some feathered friends birding, watching.
Welcome back to Broadlands. At the moment, we are looking at a group of magpie shrikes. It was a mixed bird party, but most of them now flew off. But we also had some red-billed buffalo weavers there, as well as some red-billed hornbills that were also in the tree. Not quite sure what is going on there and what they're unhappy about, but I have been trying to look through my binoculars to see what might be there that is disturbing them. A fairly easy shrike to actually identify. They're called magpie shrikes, and generally something that is either black or white or black and white or grey colour schemes are either referred to as pied or magpie. And the previous name for the species used to be a long-tailed shrike, which is both incredibly descriptive names. Just a few interesting things about their behaviour is that we actually find that they are cooperative breeders, where there's a dominant pair in the group that does the breeding, and the remainder of the individuals in the group will then assist with raising the young by bringing food as well as offering protection. But what we do find is that the adults can raise their own young. A little bit earlier, we also had another group of birds which was over here, which was known as crested helmet shrikes. And in their case, we actually find that they're totally dependent on the helpers, as that they can't raise their own young successfully without the help of those helpers bringing food or offering protection to the chicks. I'm still trying to stay in there and just see what is going on, but I can't find anything with the binoculars. Maybe they're just chatting. But quite often when you do have a large group of different species all jumping up and down, staring into a direction in the tree, that can often be a snake. It can also be a mongoose, which maybe have triggered them, which might have been moving off. Seems they're now all moving off and doing their own thing. Oh, we're going to start moving on. I think BK just managed to get a shot there on the Drakensberg Mountains. Good evening, Ruth, and welcome to the show. In Afrikaans, it's called a langstaarts laksman, which means a long-tailed. A laksman is basically executioner, because when if you translate the word laksman, one of the behaviors why sharks are often called in Afrikaans laksman is because of executing small mammals and birds and also reptiles and then pushing them onto spines and fawns so that flies can lay their eggs in it after they pull the head off, so that they can have a larder of food out of it. And then also with some of the shark species that will act as a territorial advertisement, telling other males to stay out, but also at the same time telling females that this is a male that can actually take care of himself as he's got an excess amount of food. I'm just going to do a quick silent moment here on the Drakensberg Mountains. That's Mariepskop that we can see over there, which is just above 1,940 or 70 meters above sea level. And you'll also notice that there's two incredibly large telecommunications towers on top of the mountain as well, which is responsible for all the communications of this area within the Lowveld. It's absolutely stunning up there, and I wouldn't have minded being up there now and actually being on that one position which is still open. There's an overhanging rock where you can go and sit on, and then you just look straight down this vertical cliff face into the Lowveld. Actually quite interesting is that the vegetation right on top of there is actually a fynbos type of vegetation. The fynbos actually means a fine bush, and with fynbos it's a predominant plant vegetation structure which we find within the Western Cape, and it's referred to as fynbos because of the small leaves with waxy layers which protects it against desiccation from wind, which is one of the dominant weather and climatic forces which has an influence on the plant communities and drive them very quickly out in summer months. And then as you slowly go lower down, when you get to grasslands, and eventually you will get to bushveld. So there's three very distinct vegetation structures, and in between those big valleys and gorges, there's also a forest, and it's a pretty interesting forest to go and scratch around. One of my favorite birds to go and look for there is orange ground thrush, as well as black-fronted bush shrike. If you are planning to go up there, I would definitely suggest that you do find yourself a vehicle with good clearance and at least 2x4. You can go up there with a sedan, but it's going to take a little bit of a hammering. But if you are using a rental, they're probably one of the best 4x4s which you can get on the market. Well, we're going to move on and go and see what else we can go and find. But let's go and see what Kelly is up to.
There really is so much to do in this area. Never a dull moment. Look, I've just been watching this man and pilot. See, look, he's having the odd nibble, but he's not. And you watch how he walks. When he's walking, he's often walking with his head down. Is he having a good look around there? But walking with his head down. And he's keeping this huge group of females. There's even more females to the left there. He's certainly got his work cut out. Hear a hornbill calling up there. Let's have a scan around and make sure we're not missing anything. I think the wildebeest and that other small bachelor group has moved off a little bit now. I'm actually super surprised Cedric measured, and even maybe JP. I really thought Cedric was going to need to come back. That was super heavy, but I'm sure it was just fortunately a little localized shower that just seemed to pass over the camp here. And there's more blue sky up there now. Can hear those red-billed buffalo weavers up there, right above the microphone. Yeah, there's a few little blue specks coming through again now. Gabby, I haven't seen the hippo here for a little while now. I've been watching all the dams. There's been hippo in it's been a cow and a calf in Buffelshoek Dam. I haven't seen, there was a hippo in Treehouse Dam as well. But then they sort of swap around. And I think what's happening is they're trying to decide where they're going to settle for the winter months. Maybe they might already be starting to move away to more secure water sources. But I haven't seen when did I last see the hippo in here? Probably about a week ago now, I think. But I think that's what's happening, Gabby, is they're trying to work out or decide where is going to be the best place to attempt to claim over those long, dry winter months. And these water sources in this area, while they're stunning in the summer, they are dropping quite rapidly here. So it looks like our impala has ushered all of these girls away now. We've still got our pair of lapwings here foraging around this little pan area at the top. I'm going to send you back over to you, Cedric.
Yes, so we got bumped into Tlalamba again. So it's just, yeah, of course, the guys, everyone else lost her and she went into the drainage. And as I was coming down to Twin Dams, boom, shakalaka, she just wanted to come and say hello. And so, yeah, I'm going to follow a little bit. Yeah, she's on the road now. She's just moving a little bit up north. Yeah, fantastic. Thank you, Tlalamba. She just doesn't want to. She just doesn't want to kind of leave me alone, or maybe I don't want to leave her alone. She's cool. She's absolutely a good cat. I think she came through the Molawati, and I think she's just going now slowly towards Elephant Carcass, and I think she's going to maybe move towards Treehouse Dam again, like the other day. I think she's definitely making the southern area of Djuma hers now, which is fantastic. It's absolutely incredible. I'm really happy for that. There we go. Sorry, I don't want to see what she does here. Look at that white tip on the tail. Always concentration, and many times when they do concentrate on something, that white tip will move from side to side. Or else, if it's for the cubs, if they're with her, she'll use that tail as a toy, moving it from side to side. Maybe she stands on her back legs for us. Well, I think she's just... Remember Tsemba was here 2 days ago. They killed. He was about a day ago. You found him in the Molawati heading south. So I don't know, maybe picked up on the scent. But also remember there's a lot of rain that came through, so a lot of the scent has been washed through and washed away. I think she might just be hearing something in there. Oh, good afternoon. Yes, Lumber has got one of the nicest tails of all the leopards that you've seen. Definitely, she has got a stunning little tail, a long tail, not a little long tail. We also used to have a male called Nchila. Nchila means tail as well. And funny enough, Nchila's tail was like almost twice a normal leopard's tail's length. And it looked really strange, but yeah. But she's got absolutely a stunning tail, that little white. It's got like a mind of its own. Almost like an earthworm that's just like kind of come out of the ground. She's got cool. She's so pretty cool. Of course, sticking to quite a bit of the road now due to the rain. Of course, it's wet, and you know the leopards aren't too much of a. I'm going to say they don't really prefer wet grass and wet areas. So I'm just listening at what she's hearing. Hello, where do you want to go? I'm sure she wants to maybe hopefully get some good dinner tonight. Will be brilliant. I'll be very happy. So she can bring her two little ones out to show us again. Of course, Marips, Tandi's last offspring of Marips, the young male leopard. Last we heard was when I think Kelly had him the other day when he was moving on Leadwood Road, heading north. I did have the same day, that afternoon, I had young male leopard tracks going up central towards Guaripan. Guaripan, that's northeastern corner of Djuma Private Game Reserve. Heading north. So I don't know if my reps and I decided to go in to Torchwood in the northeastern corner there. I didn't see any tracks going across, but I'm sure they might have crossed over there sometime. So Kelly had him about 3 days ago. About 3 days ago. 4 days ago. I'm going to get confused with days here. Other than that, I haven't heard any other information. I haven't heard any updates on my reps since that one. No. Well, it'll be very interesting if Temba bumps into Tlalama. It'll be very interesting to see what they'll do. Because she's definitely looking at something. Anyway, let's head back to JP. I think he's got some little creepy crawlies that he wants to show you.
We have just found a bark spider, and what happened was it was making its bridge line across the road, and we unfortunately drove into him. And the bridge line is a line that they will keep there, and then the rest of their web they actually will re-eat, and they will utilize it again. So I just dropped him over here. I just want to gently grab him. So we had to rescue him from the back of a vehicle because he fell into the back of the end of a well there, and luckily we didn't harm him when we got him out. Is safe, and we can actually go and produce a new web line. But if you were concerned about any spiders in terms of medicinal importance or medical importance, this one does create very sudden jerking movements of two of the occupants in the back of a vehicle, and it also sometimes leads to heart attacks when people suddenly get one of these on their face. But they've absolutely got no medical importance to us. They're fairly safe, otherwise I wouldn't have handled him. But I'm going to go and put him back now that he's in a safe place on a tree where he belongs, and that he can go and make a new web. So then It's interesting that they've actually done. I'm just going to show him one last time, and they reckon that they consume up to 90% of the silk that they have used and reutilize that to rebuild their webs. And it's just amazing how good their camouflage is when they actually do go and sit on a knob fawn. You can barely see them when they are on a knob fawn. Okay, I think let's go and put him back. I'm going to go and put him in a safe place. Thank you, Jerry. If it was something that I knew it was going to bite me, then I wouldn't have touched it. They're actually very relaxed spiders. And when it does come to things which do have any form of venom, I'm normally very cautious about any neurotoxins, because for some reason I've got an allergy for neurotoxins, especially with bees, wasps, and strangely enough, one of those large biting jumping spiders as well once bit me in the ear when I put my cap on, and also started having an allergic reaction where I had to actually inject a specific drug in it to counter the allergic reaction from going into a full anaphylaxis. But that's very rare that you do find people with adverse allergic reactions to the venom from less venomous species of spider as well as scorpion. Well, we're going to move on. Let's go and see what Cedric and his leopardess is up to.
Cool. I don't think that must be really pleasant, having a jumping spider biting you in the ear and having an allergic reaction to that. Oh, no, that's not nice. But those bark spiders are awesome. They do get really big and right across the road some nights. And I almost had a lady jump out of the vehicle because one of those things almost fell on her. So we're still following Lunga. She's still, not Lunga, sorry, Tlelamba. She's still mobile in a westerly direction on elephant carcass. But she keeps on again, and she would stop. She just listens out. So line here. I don't know if she's picked up on something. So I'm just gonna stop here. Can you get there? Oh, okay, that's on him. Okay, I'm just gonna. She gets around the corner there, and then I can just. Oh, sorry about the pole. There is a rain roof on there, so I'll have to maneuver around that pole. Well, Safari. Well, that's Tlelamba's great grandmother, a Safari, a female that had one eye, and she used to use the vehicles to muffle her own noise. So as soon as she was hunting, like at night time, and we found Safari and the vehicle was moving, she would try and creep up closer to whatever she was hunting. So we had to always quickly switch off. And as soon as we switched off, Safari would go flat and try and switch on to go around, or another vehicle joins the sighting. She would use that again and try and get closer. So she kept doing that over and over and over. So she really got used to how to muffle her noise. So, and I see, I know some of the leopards do that. I've also noticed one of the leopards in the west did the same thing. So you got to really play it safe, and you don't want to assist the leopard and give them all the prey the unfair advantage, and also vice versa. So we also don't want to give their location away as well. So just luckily, with Wild Earth, we can at least hang back. We've got a good old camera with a good zoom, so we don't have to be on top of her and all that. So we can at least give her space, which is fantastic. Well, it looks like she's seeing something. She heard something there. Lion. So I just, for myself, just heard a low call of something like lion just south of us. maybe towards Gary Man, but she has. Okay, I'm just going to stand back here. I'm just going to stop here. I see Lalamba has picked up on something, and now she's just very interested on something, so I'm just going to hold back here, guys. Let's take a look. So she's just gone static. She's listening out. Not too sure what she's focused on. No, she just looked that way as well. That's the way that she's looking. I just heard a bit of a low contact call of a lion, but I'm not too sure exactly how far south of us. Stalking something, yeah. Slowly, I don't want to lose visual of her. I think she's just gone further. Okay. I think we just got her here. Let's just stand back here. But lose visual there. Sorry guys, if you are getting a little bit of technical issues or our feed is not going through correctly. Unfortunately, we are very much close to a drainage line, so sometimes our signal is a little bit weak here. But just stay with us, please. Stay with us. I'm sure we are. I'm hoping that we are going to witness her with a kill. Let's hope. Let's all hold thumbs and cross our fingers. That's amazing. Excuse me, Yuri. Good afternoon, Yuri. Sorry, that's exactly what I wanted to say now. As I'm trying to see what she sees, but there's definitely, I can't see anything. I think she's more hearing something than actually seeing something. Because so the sense of hearing as well is just fantastic. Sense of smell is brilliant. So I think she's very low. You can imagine being so low to the ground and you can't really see above the grass. So I can't see anything, and we're sitting much higher. So I think she might be hearing something than actually seeing something. So I'm also trying to listen out and pick up. I know that there was Nyala. There was a herd of Nyala that came through here earlier. So maybe she's hearing them moving through the grass, through the areas. And those rosettes are just absolutely stunning. I think they've got one of the nicest coats out of most animals. Yeah, everyone's got a different thing, but I think to me leopard is just amazing. I can watch a leopard 24/7 if I have to. I'll never get tired of it. They're just so precious. Let's good for camouflage as well. That, I mean, that coat, especially now when the grass starts dying off and starts getting that real gold brown colour, I find that they really blend in. And they go lie in the grass, you can hardly actually even see them. I think she's getting tired then, and she's just really more kind of waiting. Very interesting. So of course, yeah, from really a stalking mode to becoming more kind of relaxed, but just listening out, still very alert. Graham, good afternoon. I'm also thinking, I mean, like sometimes you'll find it, if she does see a threat, like for instance, if she sees another female leopard or a young male that's coming into the area and that she doesn't know, you'll find that she'll be very inquisitive on looking and listening and trying to pick up on which male, which female is in the area. If it's lions, for instance, I think if she can see a lion, or hear a lion coming close by, I mean, their senses are good, she won't just lie it, yeah. I think she would definitely push off from that threat. You know, she'll move away from that area and make sure that she's not going to be in any threatening pathway here, because she's got 2 cubs and I think she cannot afford to even have a confrontation with another female. And so, yeah, she can be so, but not in this way. I think this way maybe it's more so in listening out for prey species. But if it's a hyena following them, they get really used to hyenas following them. If it's a hyena, she won't really act too threatened and all that. She'll most probably just watch hyena just will sniff and watch her and check if she hasn't got a kill her anyway. But other than that, she won't bother too much with the hyena approaching her now. But I think maybe if it's another leopard, it would be interesting. She has got her head down, so we don't know what she's hearing here. But let's just take a look. Maybe there might be something coming around the corner, and that's why she's got her eyes pinned there, and the tail is so very still. Let's just take a look. I think she hears it. There's something moving again there. I'm just trying to listen out. I just want to find out. I just want to see if I can hear anything moving. Watch it. Sometimes you'll find that you'll actually go on a, sometimes like that, they go on their back feet, or look like meerkat. See, watch her. See, she's now trying to put that head up, looking over. Maybe she does a meerkat stand. No, she does one. Okay, she's coming back here now. I think she wants to maybe take another entrance here. She's trying to work out which way and what she wants to do. Watch her going later. Right past us. just going to try and see if I can just keep a visual on here. I don't want to move too much. And let's just go a little bit back. She's gone now further into the vegetation. I don't want to move too much with her. Yeah, but it's the last thing I want to do. Is disturb her. Shit. I think she's already gone in.
I am just sitting and quietly listening to the sounds on dam cam. These red-billed buffalo weavers are making lots of noise. And that sky has cleared up beautifully. There's little patches of light coming through now. Have a little check in and see if our parrots have come back. Can hear some arrow-marked babblers in the background. I'm going to keep a close eye on this little nesting spot.
Yeah, welcome back everybody. As you can see, we are in infrared, so we don't want to spotlight anything. We use infrared, so that also helps the animals to really be on more of a natural behavior. As well as you got the Nyala. Now this is exactly what Lalamba was following up on, so I'm still pretty much sitting on the road. She went into the bush around about maybe 20 meters behind us. She went straight north and going towards this Nyala. So we're just going to sit back here. Of course, as you know, it is nature, so we are sitting on a situation where she is hunting. So if something does happen and you are squeamish about an animal being killed through a hunt of a leopard or lion or one of the predators, if that does happen, just make sure that you do change your channel. But yeah, we are going to sit with this Nyala because she is definitely not too far from this. There was a hyena that also came in here now as well, but the hyena just moved on further down the road and further east. Definitely, that Nyala is pretty much oblivious about her now. But I do not have visual of Lalamba itself. She's now just really much maybe 20, 30 meters inside the bush from us. And that's where she went in, so we'll see. Good afternoon, good evening. Welcome. Thanks for joining us on Wild Earth. Have I ever seen a leopard, a live kill from a leopard? I've seen quite a few. I've been in the industry for about 16 years, yeah. So I've been fortunate enough to witness quite a few of the leopard kills. I think we saw one the other day with Djuma. I think Djuma killed a warthog not too far from where we are now. So yes, I did. I've seen it, and it's nature. I mean, I'm not too squeamish about it because I know that leopard has to kill, like Lalamba. She has to kill to feed, and also to feed her cubs. It's very important for her to make a kill as soon as possible. Of course, to bring her cubs to a nice meal. But yeah, no, I've seen a few, and especially Tundi. I saw Tundi with quite a few of her kills. She really delivered. I think one of my best kills I've seen was with Tundi actually taking down a full-grown female kudu on Chitwa driveway. That was many years ago, and with Tundi's size and what she did, it was absolutely amazing. So, unfortunately, she did lose it to hyenas because it was too heavy to even think of dragging it or pulling up, hoisting it in a tree. Okay, so that looks like the Nyala has pushed off a little bit further in there. Just going to give it a little couple here. If not, I'm not going to go after. As I said, it's just... I don't think it's good nature to follow her through this while she's following those Nyalas and give her location away. And especially looks like it is going into very thick vegetation. We're still just trying to search on Lalamba. So Tandi's daughter. And Lalamba, she's the one with the two cubs, if anybody's thinking on where we are trying to relocate on. And while we're not going in to finding her, is that she is in stalking mode somewhere here in the bush, following those Nyalas. That's actually gone further in. Of course, Lalamba is a female leopard. That's pretty much now in her territory. This is her territory. And she's definitely in for a good meal. So while we were sitting here as well, definitely we've got some nice audio of lions just further south of us. Definitely not on Djuma itself. I think not too far south of Gary, Main. I'm hoping maybe late on or maybe tomorrow morning we are going to be fortunate enough for those lions to be moving north onto Djuma Private Game Reserve, which will be fantastic. No, I think I'm not going to go too much further in here and try and follow up on Lalamba. I'm going to leave her to her demise. Let's head over to Kelly and see what's happening on the dam cam.
Oh, Cedric, the elusive lions. We have been hearing them for such a long time now, calling from various locations. They have certainly been giving us the runaround for a little while now, these lions. And I fully support your non-bundu bashing technique. As I explained this morning, obviously, we do need to off-road sometimes, but I personally do try and avoid it. Fantastic, you've had 2 sightings with Talamba this afternoon, though. What a treat. Well, there's not huge amounts of activity here at the dam. I have been keeping an eye on the parrots. They are not present. And it looks like our male impala has ushered his little group of females to elsewhere for the evening. I did get an update that someone had seen porcupines on dam cam. That would be so cool, but they do normally get active much later. Ian, I love your thinking. Yeah, it was actually me. I quickly hopped out and had a little jiggly thing with Wendy there, and no, I didn't really. There was rain forecast, but I'm torn. As I said this morning, I'm not a massive fan of driving around in the rain. I did grow up in England. Oh, I just heard a hyena. Oh, wonder who that is in the background. I'm not a massive fan of driving around in rain, but I'm also not a massive fan of missing stuff. So it's 6 of one and half a dozen of the other, Ian. But I understand your thinking. This Damcam microphone, as I always say, is absolutely incredible. It hears stuff from so much further away than our ears can. But it is quite difficult to get a direction from it, I find. I hope you've all had a fantastic weekend and that you've managed to spend time in nature. And it doesn't just have to be on the weekends, it can be any time. Just grab 10 minutes with a glass of wine, a cup of tea, or in this weather here, certainly a nice hot chocolate. It doesn't matter where you are, if you're in a town, in the country, somewhere in between. We did get an update, and apparently I believe they normally disappear behind a log where the camera is. Let me find an exact update from this morning, I can tell you. 2 great sightings of porcupines. They always disappear outside, somewhere behind the fallen tree by the parrot nesting tree. So let's have a look, Heather. Let's see where they normally head off to. The fallen tree behind the parrot nesting tree. I love these updates. I know exactly where that is. Do you like to check my insect tree? One of these days I'm going to find a snake or something on here. Oh, that's very slow. Let's make that a little bit quicker. So behind the parrot nesting tree. So I think they normally disappear behind here somewhere, Heather. And they would quite easily disappear up towards the back there. I have actually seen a couple of sets of porcupine tracks. But they are definitely here. And they'll spend time looking for tubers and roots and things underneath these fallen over logs. I am still in awe of how much activity we do often see here on Damcam, especially at night. This is our crossover time where our daytime activity swaps over into the nighttime. You can hear dogs on here. They are at the lodge, just actually the landowners' doggy dogs are on site at the moment. Let's see if anyone comes to drink. I can't hear this hyena anymore, but this is definitely the crossover time.
Welcome back, everybody. I did leave Tlalamba, that female leopard. I left her where she was busy stalking and going after those nyalas. I don't want to go bashing through there and giving her her location away and make it unfair. So I left her, let her do her thing, and I'm hoping that she makes a kill for herself tonight, and then she can bring her little cubbies that side, which will be fantastic. Once again, to see those little ones, I'll be very happy. So I'd rather let her be and then see what happens in the morning. At the moment now, I'm just going to go towards Shabamu Road, from Treehouse Dam, getting towards Shabamu Road, and then maybe I'll do back onto Gowrie Main. Because I know, as I said, I got that audio of those lions. I just want to do a quick scan on Gowrie Main. Maybe we are lucky and having them coming across. But on top of that, nocturnal animals, we can do little genets if we can find one, or a caracal, which would be absolutely amazing. Bush babies, owls, there's a lot of little night animals that's around, but they're very secretive, so it's very, finding them is always a nice little bonus up there. And also chameleons, but it is a very cold, or not cold, but it is one of the cooler nights that we've had so far this year. So I think the little chameleons will be very much tucked in the thickets here somewhere and not too exposed. But you never know. I love the owls and owlets that we can also see around the side. All drizzling, now and again, a little bit of spot rain over in certain areas. But it's been a pleasant day so far. Other than that, it hasn't been too bad. I always say a bad day in the bush is always better than a good day in the office. Liam, 12 years old, good evening. All cats nocturnal? No, not all cats. I'll put it this way, you'll find like the felines as well, where you find the cheetah, for instance. The cheetah is diurnal, so they're not nocturnal. So the cheetah really much utilizes the early mornings, late afternoon hunts, and that's a little bit more busy. Very look, even if there's a full moon, I think full moon still assists a cheetah. It can definitely assist the cheetah. with hunting and all that with a full moon. But when it comes to very dark nights, no moon, and I almost thought we saw another snake here. No moon, then you'll find that cheetah will not be there. But other than that, your African wildcat, your caracal, I think caracal during the day as well, but your serval is also nighttime, leopard, lion. Most of our cats around here are nocturnal. So yes, Liam. Thank you very much for the question, Liam. That's fantastic. 12 years old and want to know your nocturnal cats. But I think it's also very much, I can say, when it comes to evolution, on ways of predators, especially here in African cats and all that, and sharing different types, not just the cats, but just the predators in general. I think, they made, through times, millions of years ago, made sure that not everything is hunting at night time, which will too much competition. I think that's why you'll find your cheetah, your wild dogs, very much more than diurnal hunters or predators. So at least they can utilize really the mornings or late afternoons or daytimes for their hunts. And then of course your nocturnal animals, your cats or your predators, like your hyenas, lions, your leopards, they'll pretty much utilize the nighttime, or mostly the nighttime, for their hunts. So there's really much kind of splitting it up a bit and not letting everything just be nocturnal. So I think that is over millions of years of evolution on predators adjusting on their times of hunting. So now we get, if I thought of lions or quality, it would be from here on this side. We are in Gowrie, Main. We are heading in an easterly direction on Gowrie, Main from Shabamu, heading towards Weaver's Nest side. I'm going to take a look. I almost thought it was a bug, a beetle. Sorry, buddy. I'm hoping at least maybe tomorrow morning, if these tawny cats have not crossed for tonight or now, tomorrow morning they'll come across this side. I'm really, really keen for some Leons. Good evening. Yeah, it's slightly but chilly. I mean, when you start coming to autumn and you start coming to winter time, the insect life does tend to start dying down. They're more kind of really when it's wet and it's summer, flowers are out and more leaves around and all that. But look, they're still around. It's not now all of a sudden they're gone. It's just that they are actually disappearing. And you won't see lots of numbers around. That's why you'll find for instance, your migrant birds has to start disappearing now because food is not plentiful anymore, or insects is not plentiful anymore, so they start migrating towards the equator side, where of course now all of a sudden you'll find there north of the equator, of course the spring and summer. And insect starts flourishing, and that's why they'll go up that side to go and migrate for food. And but there's still some stuff around. Don't get me wrong. There's still some certain praying mantises that's around. Your plant mantises, your tree mantis. They're still around in certain areas, but not as many as you think. A lot of butterflies. I think not today. I think butterflies more in your real sunny days when the flowers are really opened up and all that. You'll find your butterflies more kind of be more active. But today, because it's rainy, it's really cloudy. It wasn't a sunny day at all. I didn't see too many butterflies around today. I saw a lot of the monarchs a couple of days. The monarch butterfly, really pretty. But if anybody's got any questions, please feel free, or any suggestions for the last bit of our drives. Let's see, maybe we're lucky. Let's hold some thumbs here. I'm really hoping. nice to have a bit of rain like this. It actually feels very fresh, I think, especially after a little bit of rain like this. If tomorrow is clear, I'll definitely try tomorrow afternoon like this if the sun is setting and it's a clear day. You'll see the Drakensberg so clear because all the pollution of muck in the air and the dust in the air has settled due to the rain, and it'll be so clear. Your visibility on those Drakensberg mountains tomorrow afternoon, if it is sunny, would be absolutely incredible. Alright, I'm actually going to go up Weaver's Nest. I don't see there's a couple of impalas down this side. I think Weaver's Nest will be the best. Let's take a look up this side. Ethan, good evening. This is my first experience with IR. Yes, put it this, most of the lodges, or all the lodges I've worked at, we don't have IR, so infrared at all. But I used to work at Nkoro, one of the lodges furthest east of us towards Kruger boundary, where you've got that camera that's situated on the tree at the dam, at the pan itself, and that's also got infrared. And we always used to maintain that camera, and so yeah, I've worked with that camera, but not like this on a vehicle, no, but on the tree itself with infrared. I have seen it and I have worked with it. So, and I think it's been, that one's been there for quite some time, so it was actually very interesting to see how it goes, and there's no light at the pan, but on the screen it looks like it's daylight almost. But yeah, it's nice, it's awesome. That's a clapneck chameleon. Hello! Maybe I won't see him nicely, unfortunately. It's a little bit forward. I'm going to take a look. I'm not going to get him nicely. He's in the middle. That's exactly what I thought. With this kind of weather, they're going to tuck themselves deeper in these shrubs, bushes. I'm just going to see if okay, there. Oh, flap-necked chameleon, just really tucking himself in this magic worry bush. Of course, quite a big one. So maybe a female. Of course, females get much larger compared to the males. But now I was coming down the road. Due to the cold weather today, or not cold, but like the chilly weather today, that of course he's just decided to really kind of get inside there and keep nice and warm. But you can see that little eye moving around. So absolutely, so cute. So the flat-neck chameleon, they pretty much winter time now when it's coming, they really go more in a dormant state. And of course the females, they'll dig a hole around about 30 centimeters down, and they'll actually lay their eggs. And it'll take around about plus minus from 260 to 280 days for those eggs to hatch. Almost 10 months, I think close to 10 months. Just under 10 months. So they'll actually just sit in the trees like this for the night time, feeling very safe. Of course, got that beautiful green color to them. They're really trying to blend in with their surrounding. Unfortunately, there is a lot of predators that prey off these chameleons, so they really have to kind of blend in. While we can see it so easy at night time, especially when you've got a spotlight, if you really run a spotlight over a chameleon, it really kind of comes out almost like a very lime green color, a little bit more of I'm going to say a lighter lime green color to the surrounding areas, to the leaves, but that's to us too with a spotlight. Of course, with the infrared as well, it looks very much easy to identify or to see, but it's not really if you've got it with the naked eye. They do really blend in very well. As well during the daytime, even if you see them, that's why you have to really keep your eyes very careful on the roads as well during the daytime. I mean, when they do cross these sandy roads, the sand roads are very much got this tawny yellow color sand to it. When they do cross, sometimes you'll find they go much lighter, almost to like a real yellow-green color. a very light yellow-green color, very much blending in with the sand. And when they do walk across, they do it with like a stagger. They don't really run across or walk across. They stagger across like a leaf. It looks like something that's blowing, a leaf that's been blown in the wind, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So it's just a way of defense, because they're very vulnerable when they open and they're moving from bush to bush. And as you know as well, these chameleons, they've got those really long tongues. The tongues are almost twice the length of their body itself. PT, good evening. Yes, thank you for joining us. Are they in groups or are they loners? PT, they are loners. They are pretty much solitary little creatures. They don't hang around in groups and all that. So they're not really they're like a dwarf mongoose, the ones that we saw today. So the chameleon is very much by itself, and it'll get a mate, of course. A male and female will copulate once, and of course then she will go and lay her eggs somewhere under the ground. But yeah, you would never see really more than one together. Even when the little ones do hatch and they come out from underneath the ground, they tend to go on, move on by themselves, and they don't remain in a group. And that's when they become very vulnerable. I mean, they can lay easy up from anything from about 20 to 40 eggs if they have to. And those little chameleons, when they're young, they're very small. It's like the size of your fingernail. And at that time, not many of them survive. I think the survival rate of a little chameleon, getting to an adult is maybe about maybe 5-10%. There's so many birds. I mean, like the bush shrikes, they love it. So you get those orange-breasted bush shrikes. You get the grey-headed bush shrikes. The bush shrikes, they're always in between the leaves and in the thickets and all that. And of course, many times they will, try and catch a chameleon and feed on them. So but they're very much to themselves. Those are very curly tails, and especially now, they're a bit of a windy-ish evening. So they've got those little 2 toes in the front, 2 toes at the back of their foot, and then of course they kind of hold on. They kind of almost bolt their feet on to a stem or to a stick or a branch, and of course sometimes if it's really windy, they'll roll that curly tail of theirs around a branch and to really remain, fastened onto an area where they're not going to get blown off. So just hearing the hyenas calling there. But anyway, very nice. And let's leave old Freddy there and see what he wants to just take it easy that side. Okay. Right, we're going to move on. We're going to carry on up the Weaver's Nest. You can see. Okay, there we go. Let's camera action. Let's see what we can see. This one's my girl. Stay safe. Be good. I just love the smell of the bush, especially after a good little bit of rain like this afternoon. The rain that we had this afternoon. It's always nice. It's just get that real kind of fresh, wet bush smell that comes through.
It is indeed a beautiful smell after rain, Cedric. Petrichor, the smell to describe the earthy smell associated with rain. And it's from all those little gaseous bubbles trapped in the soil, and they all pop up to the surface and burst. This dam cam is a whole new world at night time. I've never had a look here at night. It's actually quite exciting. I know from being in the bush at the night that it's often a good idea to focus on the roads, especially after rain. I've heard lots of bats. You can hear the wind whipping across this open area. Here are these insects getting active after this afternoon of rain.
Welcome back. I'm still just going to go up Weaver's Nest a little bit further up here. I'm absolutely trying to look for maybe an owl or an owlet here somewhere. I'm struggling. Of course, it's not the greatest evening for that, but let's see. But let's see if I can pick up on any other little eyes that's shining at me and looking into my soul. Let's see. Oh, but what is that? Sorry, it looks like fresh leopard. Looks like fresh leopard scat that's on the road, yeah? It's a dead leaf. I thought it looked like leopard scat from here, but it's just a dead leaf that's on the road. Yeah. Always got to make sure. Always got to make sure. You never leave a leaf unturned. You got to turn every leaf over. You never know what you're going to find under it. Well, I'm sure you guys have, hopefully you guys had a fantastic sunset safari with us this afternoon. And hopefully this tomorrow morning we can get you some more interesting things, and maybe we're lucky with Tlilamba and her cubs. Maybe. So it'll be fantastic if she does make a kill tonight and she decides to hoist it for once, and then she can bring her little cubbies here, so for us to see. I would be very happy for that. As well for the lions that's busy calling during tonight. Oh. Just listening to the hyena. Oh, it's nice to hear that. Yeah, it's very close to us. I think it's towards Ribbon and Hart's den area. We're on Weaver's Nest. The den area is down that side. I think it's a little bit, maybe towards Taxon's Road, that side. But it's always nice. I love listening to hyenas. It's like typical when they start calling for other clan members and just to kind of locate each other and what's happening, and if they need assistance for anything on maybe heading out for a kill or something like that. So That's always nice. I'm just going to go a little bit up here, and then I just want to stop here on Philemon's Cutline side. I just want to double check on this, and then not far, just up here. A little bit further down. I don't see much on this side. Well, it's been a eventful afternoon once again. Of course, a lot of rain. We got the Nobele, beautiful female hyena this afternoon. I'm really happy to see her around. And of course, Tlalamba. That was that's the one that I was hoping for this afternoon. That was my mission for today, to see if we could locate on her, and we did, and twice as well, which is fantastic. A double whammy. So I'm glad to get to see her this afternoon, and for everybody else to enjoy it with us. And for sure everybody must come and join us for our sunrise safari tomorrow morning and get an update further, and also for those lions. It's pretty much just calling in the south of us, which is going to be good. As you know, always expect the unexpected here in the bush. And I think it'll be fantastic for you guys to join us tomorrow morning. But I just want to say thank you, everybody, for joining us this afternoon. Thank you so much. And from the Wild Earth team, we all say have a pleasant day or night. Good night from us.